had to have this difficult conversation with Margot because she really wants to play GTA 6. Because there's times where she'll ask me because she'll ask me like, "Oh, you should get this game." I'm like, "You get it. You work too, don't you? Like, what are you doing?"
In true Florida fashion, it is a timeshare video game.
Yeah, so there's two things that still kind of blow my mind about Final Fantasy 15. Number one, in order to fully understand Final Fantasy 15, you need to watch every trailer that came out 10 years before it was released.
Yeah.
Because they contain all of the backstory. They thought that everyone playing 15 was tuning into like every trailer from like 2006 for Final Fantasy Versus 13. That's insane to me still. Like, you want to know who Luna Freya is? You got to watch those trailers.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is, like, I played that game on launch day.
Mm-hmm.
And years later, it's been patched and so much has been, like, added to it that I feel like if I ever go back, I'm not going to play the same game that was there.
Yeah, no, they went and changed a game that was already changed when it came out. And like you have to watch an entire film to understand the plot. And
I didn't even go into Kingsglaive if that's what you're talking about.
Yes, you have to watch Kingsglaive. And
no, you don't.
And then like a decade later, Square had the nerve to say, we still don't know Sephiroth. I know everything there is about Sephiroth. They only have to play 2 games. Yeah.
If I ever direct an indie movie, I'm going to reference Kingsglaive so much that it will be required viewing, just like Final Fantasy 15.
No, see, Spirits Within deserved its reappraisal. Kingsglaive, we don't need to ever talk about this movie ever again.
I'm glad to see like the Advent Children reclamation happen because it's like that is a movie that if you don't think about the plot, looks really fun.
Oh yeah, it's a great sizzle reel for Square Enix's like power at the time. Like
that should have been the PS3 demo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could have just had that. Don't think about the story at all. I think about it too much and then I get mad at it. And
Barrett being
the movie should exist for selling flip phones and looking at motorcycles, and frankly, it does that and nothing else.
And it has My Chemical Romance in it. It has My Chemical Romance.
It does. And Tifa's outfit is pretty cool.
Wait, hold up. At what part does it have McRib in it? Where?
You don't remember? I think it plays over the credits. No, there's a song. The song "Safe and Sound." I don't know if you know "Safe and Sound" by MCR, but that was written for Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
You're blowing my mind.
Yeah, no.
Welcome to Brain Lords, Video Games of the Mind, a panel discussion between artists and the art they love. I'm your host, Kyle.
Holy shit, he's right!
I go by Q Monster Props, and I'm a special effects artist from the video game industry. I work at Vulpin Props, making trophies for major esports tournaments, as well as life-size items, weapons, and characters from your favorite video games. With me, as always, is my co-host, Jorge. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jorge, and today I learned the Gerard Way actually wrote and made a song for Advent Children called Safe and Sound.
You know how celebrities will like kind of get a free pass to do whatever they want when they declare they're like a nerd in a certain like fandom space?
That's what happened to God.
Gerard Way is like the literal opposite, where he's like, no, I'm putting in the labor, y'all.
Holy crap.
I'm putting in hours.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to rewatch the movie just to get to the credits. And okay, by the way, I'm Jorge. Your co-host at Fangamer. I work at Fangamer. I'm an illustrator, graphic designer, and we just launched I Don't Know. My mind is blown. My blind is moan. You're
still launching Deltarune stuff, frankly.
Oh yeah, I mean, have you played Chapter 5? You have. I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like halfway through it, but I'm enjoying it. So. How about
your dad's my best friend?
Your dad's my best friend.
I love those voice clips. I did not turn them off.
Hey guys.
With us, we have a guest today. Kyle.
Yes, with us today is a very special guest. He presses select in order to start. He can't stop listening to Jujutsu Kaisen's ending OP. He was raised by a Christian woman, which makes him half-good Christian woman. He is the closest thing Brainlords has to a sister podcast. Keifer, aka Keifer's Corner, aka the host of Select to Start, aka Danny Vegito, aka Francis York Morgan's third split personality, aka Yoko Shimomura's biggest fan.
And I was the one who taught y'all today that MCR was in Final Fantasy Advent Children, so add that to the belt.
Yeah.
You guys did very thorough research. I didn't know, like, you saw me doing that Garfield edit to the Jujutsu Kaisen theme song I did like 4 years ago.
It's really good, actually. I've seen literally one episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, but it's a good edit.
Yeah, thank you. I've seen a lot of the Garfield show.
Me too, actually. I've seen so much more Garfield show.
Garfield and Friends.
And his friends. Yes.
Garfield and Friends, yeah.
A classic on Fox after coming back from kindergarten.
Remember when Garfield's catchphrase was like advocating for people to be drug out to the road and shot?
People who sing like that should be drug out into the street and shot.
We should bring that back.
No, I don't. Okay.
That was like his catchphrase in the TV show. Who said whoever came up with that should be drugged out into the road and shot.
Oh goodness, Garfield, like calm the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
If I was John Arbuckle, I'd be like, can you please chill? Like, for God's sake.
No, John, vigilante justice.
Vigilante.
Keifer, please. Thank you for joining us today. When I say the closest thing Brainlords has to a sister podcast, I mean it. Keifer is the host of Select to Start, a podcast about interviewing different artists and people of interest about their favorite video games. Keifer, tell us a little bit about that and what you do.
Hi, I have a podcast about meaningful and memorable video game experiences. Every episode I bring on a guest who selects a game that made an impact on their life, and we start talking about it. The impetus for this was that at the time in my life when I started the podcast, I didn't have a lot of people in my real life who wanted to talk about video games as long as I did. So I was reaching out to.
We started this podcast.
Wish that were me.
Reached out to some online friends who wanted to talk about video games for an extended period of time. And then over time, it did actually catch the interest of people who I really respect and admire creatively. I've had television writers and television showrunners, comic artists on the show. Eisner Award winner Hamish Steele is on my Windbreaker episode. Jamieson Borak, who wrote for the Harley Quinn TV show on HBO.
Yeah, wow.
On my Majora's Mask episode, among others. And it's a really wonderful show. Like, it's not just, professionals. It's people who, sometimes it's personal friends, sometimes it's online people, and sometimes it is people who work in the video game industry, sometimes video game journalists, and then sometimes it's just a gamer. Yeah. A gamer I found literally on the street and just said, "Hey,
sure."
See, that's what I want, Kyle. We gotta interview like some random nobodies outside. That's what I want to do too.
Take it out on the street.
With us is a very special guest. He wouldn't stop talking about Brandish when I mentioned it at a convention one time.
Oh, God, I wish I met that person. But yeah, thanks again, Keifer. By the way, you have a lovely radio host voice. I gotta let you know.
I also appreciate the fact that you are one of the only video game podcasts I've heard that actually edits in stupid audio clips and video game music.
A great style.
Yeah, I was worried I was being too indulgent with like that kind of thing because I grew up like watching YouTube videos where people did edit in that kind of stuff, and I thought maybe I'm doing a faux pas. And then I started listening to Blowback in my research for the Spec Ops: The Line episode, and they do that shit too. So I'm fine. I'm normal. You can't just edit in clips that are relevant to the conversation.
Again.
Man, sometimes you should just do something because you like it, actually.
Yeah. I'm doing this for me. Like if I get 0 listeners, there will always be one, and it's me.
If Select to Start has 0 listeners, it's because I died.
Yeah, because I am dead. Keifer, we have you on because you are the perfect fit for today's episode, which is... What makes a game worth it?
Okay.
The elusive hours of fun versus dollars spent, the most important metric on measuring a video game's quality. After all, if I spend $50 on a game, I should get roughly 50 hours of fun, right? Yet for some, how long to beat under 10 hours is the gold standard. How do you connect to someone when how we find value is so personal? This week on Brainlords, we discuss how we judge things like emotional impact and originality when no matter how you slice it, we only have so much time and money to experience art. So yeah, Keifer, I thought you'd be the perfect guest for talking about what makes a video game worth it, because frankly, that's what you do every single episode is ask people what makes a video game worth it to them.
Yeah, no, it's about that personal experience you have with a video game. I haven't done the same game twice yet, but like the whole thing is they select a game that is like made the biggest impact on them, whether like it is an artistic influence or just like an impact it made on their personal life, or just like this is the gold standard for video games for me. This is like what I see when I visualize a video game and roll it around in my mind, Katamari style. It's an unspeakable like value. You cannot calculate the value of a thing the way that like gamers might want to, but we try.
You try very hard. Frankly, it's a commendable effort because you put on a good show.
Yeah, no, and like we have a whole segment in the show where we say like, and now how can you find this treasure? In my segment, No Country for Old Games, where we try and like access this game if it's more than 10 years old. Who knows if you can actually access and play that game. And given the news, cool. You can ascertain that it's like going to be harder now.
Yeah, I appreciate that segment both as an advocate for just like free and unrestricted digital access to things, but also just because it's like it's kind of interesting to see just how many of these games are like the most meaningful work of art to someone, and for you to have to be like, well, you just kind of have to go online.
Mm-hmm. Something I learned very recently is they have video games in the Library of Congress now. They have video games in the Library of Congress. It is officially an art form according to Congress. But it is one of the few in the artistic medium of the world that you cannot check out in any way. You cannot access it on a digital database. You cannot take it out of the building with you. You kind of have to play the game under supervision. And that is really not the case, which means that thing is more precious in the minds of the lobbyists over at Congress than like Citizen Kane, because you can just take Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I was going to ask. That's interesting because you can just like take a movie home and watch it and then bring it back, right? Like that's how it works there. So what is it about games that are they afraid people are going to steal them? That they have more value than a movie? Like,
let's discuss on this podcast if we can ascertain the value according to Congress of what a video game is.
I just like the idea of like I'm sitting there cross-legged playing Rumble Roses 2, and a Supreme Court justice is looking over my shoulder like, all right, buddy, finish it up.
No, they have to wait for me to play Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Like, damn it, I'm here to learn. I'm here to
sit down and play if you want, buddy.
Sotomayor wants to play Street Fighter 3.
Let's go. Best soundtrack. All right, well, why don't we just jump straight into today's talking points, gentlemen. I'll start with the first question I got for y'all.
Jerona!
How does playtime factor into a game's worth?
Keifer, go ahead. You're our guest.
Yeah, this is the version of the argument that tends to pop up the most, where they try and calculate time over money. Buddy, look, it's Pink Floyd couldn't figure it out. I don't think we can. It's the entire economy is like built around this formula, and we haven't figured it out because the answer is we got to throw it all away. There is like I can at least understand the thought exercise, because a video game can be any length, which is not necessarily a problem other forms of media consumption have. A television show, we used to at least agree, have a standard running time. Movie can only be so long. A video game could be 1 to 1 million hours long. Yep. And that is a huge margin of error because we don't have a standardized system the way we do for television and film or music. We spend too long arguing about this particular point.
I am glad you brought this up because I also think that playtime as a measure of a game's worth is a little, it's like probably in my opinion the worst metric of them all, just because like you said, I don't think any of us can agree on like what the perfect length of a game is. You make a game too long and it's like, well, I don't want to play it now because it's going to waste my time. I don't know if my investment is going to be worth that. Or if it's too short, you're going to be like, well, I feel like I paid too much for this game, or I feel like it got overhyped and I ended up not. So there's no like, what is perfect length of a game established by anyone at all? It's highly subjective. It's like an extremely fluent metric depending on who you ask, especially now when like most of the people I talk to are like, they're older. They're like working full-time jobs. They don't really like games are a hobby to them, and they don't have the time to spend with them as they do like when they were kids. So if you say like, if you dare say, well, this game's a little long, then it's like, oh well, I don't care now. And it's like, oh well, then it's not worth it. Period. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. In this thought exercise, I had spent a little time thinking this over. And I think that people approach video games as a way to fill the time that they have. So when we're younger, we have more free time. I think a longer game is a lot more appealing. But then for me personally, I made that jab at like how long to beat being under 10 hours. And for me currently, like having a game that is like a complete narrative experience that gives me something like valuable that maybe has a little bit of replay value, but is under 10 hours or so, I think is really important to me, because that means that I could probably beat it within a couple of weeks, doing like an hour or so every other night. And that's something I could like actually engage with artistically.
Well, I guess I want to ask then, with that being said, like, so 10 hours is like your baseline for like
lately
what
these
you're
days,
looking.
yes.
Okay. Now, does that, if you like a game enough, you would play more than 10 hours of it, right?
Oh yeah, and like every once in a while I have room in my life just because I just get swept up, and that's when a Death Stranding, playing Breath of the Wild for the first time.
I was gonna say,
or just hooks
like
me.
an Elden Ring is not a 10-hour game.
No.
No. And thank God.
Funny enough, though, this may be an offshoot of the topic currently, but like Elden Ring, I played once. I loved it. I've played maybe like part of a second run to get to the DLC. And I did the DLC, loved it. But like, I find myself not really drawn to replay that game again. Dark Souls, any day of the week, you could ask me, would you replay Dark Souls right now? And I would.
Okay, do you think the length is a contributing factor of that?
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, I think there's more you can do, more choice you can do in a single playthrough of Dark Souls by like choosing your build and figuring out different routes to go, versus Elden Ring, where I feel like you do kind of a little bit of everything your first run. So there's not a lot of point into playing it again.
So that's interesting. You're sort of like, rather than like talking about like time as like the way we talk about it in like film consumption, television consumption, it's almost like food consumption, where it's like caloric density for you, where like in Dark Souls, like the minute to minute is just tighter because it is like a game that is directed and like has this almost Metroidvania style of exploration, where like it does feel open, but there's like interconnectedness within that, and you are kind of being guided along this authored experience, whereas Elden Ring is so vast and enables so much player expression, and it kind of depends on that to like sustain it. And there's no problem with that approach either. I think they do both amazingly.
Yeah.
But it does,
if anything, maybe the
dense in authorship.
Maybe the comparison is like Dark Souls is like my favorite album, where it goes through the highs, the beats, the highs and the lows, and Elden Ring is just like the radio. I'm getting a little bit of everything, because when I look at my hours here, Elden Ring playtime 264 hours, but if I look at Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition, it is also 296 hours, but that does not count the amount of time I played on the Xbox 360.
On the console, yeah. Which I'm sure you played on console first.
So that's easily in probably like we're probably talking like 400 hours total.
So I guess like, and this is something I've always advocated for in this podcast or the show. Like, I think people always make time for the things they love to do. Like there's always time in your schedule to go back to those comforts. I like what Keifer brings up, that people tend to see, and you're different than that, Kyle, but most people tend to see video games as like the same investment as like a TV show, where it's like like everything is measured in hours or in run time, basically, like a movie or like a prestige TV show. Like every episode's an hour, and that's all I have to watch for a night. And people, for some reason, want to force that metric into video games to be like what I think Derek, you said, called it the units of playtime, where like people measure an hour like that is a unit of playtime. I have played this much video game. And so there's like a percentage above their head going like, well, I'm almost done with it. And you're constantly thinking of like, well, how long is this going to take? Like how long, like how much more time? And to me, I find that kind of I don't think you're enjoying what you're doing if you're thinking of it that way. You know what I mean?
It's like the
it sounds like a chore.
Goodreadsification of consumption. Like every time, like I don't use Goodreads because like I hate the way it maths out how much you're reading, especially if you are actively reading it. And it's like you're 30% done with the book, and like I know that because I can look at how many pages are in the book.
Yeah, there's
but you're holding it,
and I'm holding it. Like, look how many pages are left. Yeah,
but there's something like humiliating about like putting that onto the internet and like my friend being like, oh, they're 30% through a book right now, and it's like, God. And like this proposed theory, like this like we have labor theory of value being like this broad understanding of how we should be calculating like the worth of a thing, and that goes out the window with gamers anyway because they don't know what that means. But but like this everything's trying to be mathed out. Everything's just trying to be you're trying to math out something.
Okay, and then that's like I just find that and I appreciate, Kyle, that you know what you like and you're all like you're setting a boundary for yourself, and I think that's what most people should do to turn this into a positive thing. Because I think like I remember GK, a friend of the show, we had him on an episode once. I think he tweeted the other day like, if a game is not hooking me in 6 hours, or I think 12 hours was his metric, 12 hours into the game, if I do not care, I'm either skipping cutscenes or I'm done. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's a boundary.
That's pretty fair. Like, that's like saying if the first season of a show doesn't get me, then
it's generous as fuck. Yeah. So that's what people need. They just need to know when to stop. Like beating the game is not the end of the game. The end of the game is when you're done playing it. Like I've had enough. I'm done, and that's it. That you found your worth out of that.
Yeah, like when do you beat Balatro? Like you can't unlock everything.
Okay, then, like, you beat it when you like mathematically max out the like int value.
Oh, you're doing the GDQ evaluation of when that game's beaten.
Such a good run. It was such a good run. Here's another question that's sort of related to this, though. Do either of y'all find it weird that replay value, at least to me anecdotally, does not play into recommendations as much when we're talking about like the time value proposition that games often supply? I feel like a lot of people will criticize things like your Silent Hill Fs, like your Bayonettas, your Resident Evils, and they'll be like, what's the deal? I beat it in like 10 hours. When like, and then all of those games are ones that are like, dog, are you even playing Resident Evil if you haven't played it at least like 3 times?
The point is to play it again and enjoy it more.
With like Infinite Rocket Launcher, you haven't beaten Resident Evil 4.
Right,
truly.
Yeah, no, like you've really only beaten Resident Evil 4 once you've done the full playthrough with both the Killer 7 and the Infinite Rocket Launcher.
Talking about this, because it's always like, this is the conversation that happens during the launch window of a game, and the perceived value of a game plummets over the course of a year, unless you're a Bandai Namco game. But it's like, or Nintendo. But like Silent Hill F, I just opened up on Steam on a whim. It's 50% off right now, and it's
Holy
like,
crap.
is it now suddenly worth this perceived value in your mind? Random person whose number they put up in their head,
right?
And it's like, what was the number in your head? What was the number in your head?
I'm so glad we're getting to the meat of this topic. Yes, the replay value. That was something that used to be really important. I don't know if you remember, like old video game magazines always had a replay value rating. Game Pros specifically, I think, had like a replay value. And if that was good, then it's like, oh shit, I'm playing this game forever. Like that was a good thing back then.
I feel like character action games are making a bit of an upswing right now. And with a lot of the best character action games, I feel like you have not even begun to play that game until you have rolled credits. That's when the real game starts.
Yeah, not even counting the games that have like New Game Plus.
Yeah,
there's a lot of games that are, I don't know, like Dragon Quest is the RPG example of that, where like you beat the game, especially 11, you beat the game, and there's more story and game after the credits roll. Like you didn't beat it. There's more to it. And it's intentionally designed to like, I don't know. Maybe the game is giving you an out. Maybe the developers are like, well, if you're done, then you're done. That's fine. Here's the credits. But like the game is more than just I finished it. And I guess that's like the thing I want to talk about. And I'm glad we touched on. There's the end is when you turn it off and you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, is that thing going to just live on your shelf forever? When people talk about, like, seeing a movie in the theater, right, versus, like, purchasing a DVD, like, owning a video game is much closer to owning, like, the physical disc rather than going to the movie theater. If you go to the movie theater and see Heat 4 times, you're out at least 40 bones. But if you go and buy Heat on 4K, and it's like, you probably put 25 up front, and then you can watch Heat as many times as you want to. It's a 3-hour movie. I'm trying to think. So, like,
you just thought of, like, the longest movie that came to your head.
I mean, Heat's awesome, but like it's like it
is.
So like if you go to a movie theater, if you go see a movie 4 times or an hour and a half movie in a theater, that's 2 movies per Heat that you could be watching right now. 2
movies per Heat. That's right.
You could watch 2 90-minute movies in one Heat. So
Derek, if you're listening, that we got a new metric for playtime.
That person's out at least $80 if they see a movie movies at the same period of time it would take to watch Heat, like because they watch double the amount of movies.
Heat Units also has a great mouthfeel to it, so yeah, I'm pitching that.
Heat Units. That sounds like a Yakuza thing, like when
like the heat action.
Your combo
if
meter
you
building
stack
up.
Your heat actions, yeah, that would be called Heat Units.
Heat action is when like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino start fucking.
Whoa! That's not the movie I saw. Pass me that cut, bro.
When you watch Heat a 5th time, you unlock that ending.
Oh shit! Oh, that's why people watch Heat 4 times, because they're like, it's like Nier. If you play Nier 5 times, you get that secret ending.
You get the De Niro route, and then you get the Pacino route, the Kilmer route. You get the ass route. Oh, yeah. 4th time you get the great ass.
Great ass route. Okay.
And then you get the
amazing.
fucking route.
Okay, all right. So I guess I have only seen Heat 4 times then, because I haven't seen the fucking.
Have you even really seen Heat then? You haven't gotten a New Game Plus in Heat.
I guess not, dude. Oh.
That's the one you take it at theaters with you.
So we touched on this a moment ago, but actually this is a great time to segue into my next question for y'all.
Jerona,
does price or accessibility matter in measuring a game's worth?
No. All right. So I have a point on this. So price is flexible. I unfortunately have a degree in business, and like the entire again.
What do you mean? Unfortunately, I love it. Thank you.
But like it's a thing where it's like it is not that hard to get one, and that makes what gamers not know about business even more pathetic. Apologies to the listener. But like it is like one of the first things. Price elasticity, the willingness. Let's use a recent example. Grand Theft Auto 6, Elephant in the Room, $100 right now. You don't even get to own that thing physically. 100 bones.
Correct.
Or roughly 2.5 heats in the theater if you see it 8 times. Like 10.
H in the T, yeah.
Heat in the theater 10 times. You get 2 De Niro fuck endings that way.
Holy
you get
shit.
$100 for GTA 6. And that is what it's agreed upon price when it's released. And we are having the conversation right now about price elasticity, where what is that customer willing to pay for that object? If we understand baseline of video games like $60, and that's the agreed upon price, people don't bat an eye. And in Joker mode, everybody loses their mind when they nearly double the price at 100, right? 70 was this tension that we kept rubbing up against. 70 is a lot of money, but like it is a PlayStation 5 video game, and I do own that. You're brushing up against the elasticity there. The rubber band might snap with $100, or we'll learn actually it doesn't matter. And
yeah.
Who knows?
That's what Nintendo did too when they were like testing the waters with their Tears of the Kingdom price point.
$60 all the time, and then like they knew they could charge $70 because people's like belief that a game should be $60 max was overridden by, but it's Zelda though. And then this is what they're doing. Like this is the first Grand Theft Auto game in 13 years. Keep in mind, like 13 years of time, we had Grand Theft Auto 3, we had Grand Theft Auto Vice City, San Andreas, 4, 5, and not to mention all the spin-off games in that window of time over 13 years. Imagine 0 Grand Theft Auto games coming out in 13 years. How much money have people paid for Grand Theft Auto unless they're a whale in the Grand Theft Auto Online environment?
Yeah. Unfortunately, too, for a lot of folks, the cost of Grand Theft Auto is, what, $600 because it was the price of a console and the one video game they're going to play on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing we have to factor into this situation with the GTA 6 situation, where like people who don't play video games are going to play GTA 6, and they don't care what it costs. Like it's kind of messed up. I don't agree with that. I think we should have rioted, but I think
they're going to care. I think they're just going to begrudgingly.
Yeah, they're just gonna be like, grumble. Here's my debit card. Like
this is the thing, and this was a point I never even considered in the physical game conversation. Weirdly enough, I mean, I think about it in relation to other things, but I didn't think about it in relation to $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6. I think it was Blue Sky user at Headfalls All phrased this. Grand Theft Auto is the ultimate. I bring this over to my friend's house game. We play it on the couch. You can't do that now.
Like, check this out.
You have to bring the whole console with you to your buddy's house if you want to do that. You can't.
I mean, you could do it if you. It's a pain in the ass. You can log into someone else's PS5 and download it from there. But like, that's,
and then you have to
download
the
most disgusting thing I've heard.
Well, yeah, you're gonna sit there. What you're actually doing is sitting there for an hour watching the download bar go up.
I remember when I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 and I had to put in a data disk and sit there for hours watching it because PS4 download speeds were abysmal, dog. Remember that?
They were. I do remember.
It was just like,
I still remember because I use my PS4. So
I didn't play the game until tomorrow. That launch date game was a day 2 game. Now imagine you have to go over to your friend's house and download the goddamn thing for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably like it's going to be an absurdly gigantic file.
When GTA 5 came out for PS3 and like Xbox 360, you didn't have to sit there and wait for it to download then, did you? That was the last time a Grand Theft Auto game was released. Think about it.
Oh my God, yeah. But to answer the question, Kyle, on my end, I feel like most people do care about what something it costs when they ask if something is worth it. And in fact, I think that is what they're asking pointedly. Like, can I waste money on this? You know, and because a lot of people are, what they're really asking is like, well, everyone likes this game. Am I going to like it too? Is it worth my money? Because if they like it, they're going to spend as much time as they want, but they don't know what it is, so they got to fork over the dough. And if something is $20, if someone's like, is this worth it? And people go, well, shit, it's like half off, like Silent Hill earlier. Like, yeah, it's half off. Like, get it. It's the perfect price right now. And then at that point, it's like, well, if I like it or not, it's fine because I didn't spend that much money on it.
Yeah. And for the longest time, you know, video game criticism was and still kind of is a Consumer Report. It's evolved a lot since, you know,
that's
like
that's
90s,
why there's reviews,
early 2000s, but that's a lot of what the discussion on games is like whether or not this like entertainment unit is worth your money. And a lot of people, that's just kind of what they want to hear.
Yeah, it's not what I want to hear, and it's not the way I measure games, but I imagine that when people ask, is something worth it? Yeah. They mean like, well, I have $60 on me right now. Which game could you
I liked GTA 5 pretty good, and this new one is coming out. Is it pretty good enough for $100? Is what they want the answer to, and I think that's pretty reasonable.
Over lockdown, I got really into buying games off of GameFly. They don't just rent games; you can buy used games on there too because they have a bunch of used games because of their rental model. They're very much still around. And me following those like discount social media accounts back in the day, I was like via GameFly, and I just like bookmarked GameFly, and I noticed like, oh, I got Last of Us Part 2 for like $20. I got Final Fantasy VII Remake at deep discount. I got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 at the time at deep discount, all pre-owned. Nice. It was like these were games that came out within the year, and I was able to stay in that conversational zeitgeist just because like you know, I was keeping an eye on like a market that like a lot of people take for granted. It's not, you don't have just the option of like buying it pre-owned at GameStop. There is that space. Physical media's other utility, right? I own all these games physically, and I got them on a fairly steep discount that they would never put on a digital store. And that's the other thing about what the agreed upon price is like the vendor sets the price. The house always wins. You ever try return a game to GameStop? We all have. It sucks. We don't even need to say it. But
I actually haven't done that in a while. Like,
it's like you always get like 10% of like the value of the thing, or like a third.
Oh, you're saying traded it in? Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you
like,
get pennies to the dollar.
No, I actually did do that recently. I mean, it was a bunch of games I found at Goodwill that I was not playing, but I'm like, I don't have the energy in me to sell this online, and I went to
Precisely. You don't have the energy to do it yourself, and you eat the loss on that. You eat the loss on that, and that's not the problem.
I ate a loss. Yeah, I know.
Like you can money max. You can gamify it, but it is inherently more work to do so. The labor theory of value does apply in ways that are both visible and invisible.
Everyone wants to talk about how much something is worth, but then when you actually have to sell it, that's the only thing that matters.
And again,
I know, right?
The industry is not even based on the labor theory of value anyway, because the acceptable number of hours it takes to create, it's out the window when it's being made. It's out the window when it's being sold. It is a farce, and it's almost like a conversation that's a distraction from that fact.
Wow, I'm glad you're here to bring us this.
Yeah, please. I appreciate this insight. So, Jorge, I don't know if you noticed this, but I did alter your question ever so slightly, because I also added accessibility, because I feel like that is a metric you can put on games in the same way.
I did notice, and we can get into that now. Yes, I think, well, in my opinion, a thing a lot of people don't consider when it comes to like the dollar worth of a game or the dollar value of a game is who is this for and who can afford this. And there's like something really upsetting to me about like getting up in arms about, I mean, I'm going to say it, emulation, worst case scenario, piracy. But it's something that like a lot of people do see, like even I like I'm because I like to buy games secondhand. But even when like I know I have like a hacked Wii, I'm not gonna go out and like drop hundreds of dollars on a game that I'm only just kind of curious in. So it twists that notion of like worth something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. For example, is Sheeran the Wanderer worth like $150 right now? Like. Yes, like in the secondhand market, it is. But to me, I like that game. I don't love that game. If I ever want to play it again, I'm just going to download it, you know? Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of there's people who feel this way just because of like their material conditions, I guess. And like there's not really going to be like $60 in the pocket for everything.
No.
And like
they know that for the first year they can get away with doing that.
Oh, you mean like the people selling the game?
Yeah, people selling game, know, like, hey, the people who want this game immediately, we charge them the most because those are the people that's the first run. But like, you know, when like they have like even back in the day, like the greatest hits PlayStation thing, the $20 version of the game they put out afterwards.
God, I missed
that's the second money flow, baby. That's the second run for us.
Yeah, and then at that point you do get like you do get the rest of everyone who's like, well, now I can afford it, and that's fine.
Precisely. And it's like, are you willing to play the waiting game?
Also, they do that because they know that at that rate, like they have already justified the second print run at that volume. So it's like, yeah, sure, like we're getting the same amount of money off of this regardless.
It's like almost like it's like paying the full price for a game is the early access. You get to be in the zeitgeist. That's the movie theater ticket pricing.
I will get to that. Yes, I actually will get to that in a bit. So save those thoughts. But yeah, Kyle, I think accessibility matters too. Just in terms of like, if when people do want to be a part of, like Keifer said, the zeitgeist, sometimes you will fork over the cash, even if you can't. You really shouldn't be buying video games. I do feel that to some people, if like for me for example, and I had to have this difficult conversation with Margot because she really wants to play GTA 6. I'm like, I'm not dropping $100 for a game you only kind of want. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm imagining the conversation where it comes
Florida.
out. Like,
they're in Florida. It has
look,
Publix.
They're in love.
No,
and I'm like, I thought
they're in love.
It's Florida.
Gio.
Anyway,
that's a family game. You have to save up as a family to buy the goddamn game.
I swear, I'm like, you want? Because there's times where she'll ask me because she'll ask me like, oh, you should get this game. I'm like, you get it. You work too, don't you? Like, what are you doing?
In true Florida fashion, it is a timeshare video game.
Oh my goodness! But yeah.
I said
appreciate you adding that asterisk.
I do think there is at least like for me when I say accessibility, making a game worth it. I think there is kind of like this threshold, this like opposite of Uncanny Valley, where like if I'm getting a game for free functionally, but I have to work just like a little bit for it. Sure. If that game resonates with me, it's like an all-timer. Like there's something about like having just a little bit of toil that just makes a game.
You mean toil like, financially?
really resonate with me.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean like when I'm stealing a game or like getting a fan translation or whatever.
Oh, I see.
Like
what
if
you're
I have
saying.
to work a little bit for it, like if I go out of my way to play like the menu translated version,
You have to patch. You have to patch it. You have to download the BIOS for this one console. You have to go through the trouble.
the summer with Boku project we have coming up, Jorge.
You went through
I'm
the
like
trouble.
salivating right now because I had to like download. I had to find the ISO and I had to put the patch on, and then I also have to wait. I have to wait until August. And then once I do, I only play like 30 to 40 minutes a day. So like all of that is contributing to the fact that like now there's this ritual, now there's this process. And the fact that I've like put it on this pedestal that's like not even that much of a pedestal is making me like go cuckoo bananas at the thought of playing this game. Just because there's a gimmick associated with it.
When I figured out how to get PC Engine CD running on RetroArch, I went wild. I've played all of Ys 3. And just on that high, I was like, I figured it out. I fucking figured it out. And if just looking at the game in front of me is my reward.
I love Rondo of Blood. I think I probably only love it as much as I do because I had to figure out how to get like specifically
like
the PC Engine
TurboGrafx
version of it. Yeah, I'm only playing that one. I'm not playing the PSP one. I know it's good. I gotta play the PC Engine.
My favorite Castlevania. That's one of my favorite Castlevania games. But no. Rondo Blood is great. No, it has a really good intro. I do love that pixelated intro. With the German dub. It's great.
Like that's what makes the joy of the Steam Deck so beautiful for me. It's like, I use that for legal games too, but like the real fun is messing with it and getting those games to work optimized on your Steam Deck is the fun. And then it's like it always feels a little better. There's always like having to play when you figure it out how to play a console and then optimize it on that first game always hits better than the second game because the second game's like, I know how to do this already. So it's like I conceivably have every game in the library now, and that loses its luster. But that first game you play all the way through, I just ate up Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 on the Steam Deck, buddy. It was wonderful. That was a great couple of weeks for me. And it's like I haven't played a PS.
There's a point at which I finally got a PS2 as a teen, and I had this like, you know what? I never got around to Legends 2, and I really liked Mega Man 64. And because I could go back on the PS1, and it took just like, I just had to find the game in a store, like just that little bit of work made me like really appreciate that game. So I don't know, like there's this point where like, you know, if I'm willing to justify spending like full price for a video game, usually I'm pretty excited for it, especially me for a brand new video game. I don't do that very often. You know, I did buy the Hilf for 50% off because I was really interested in that game, but not at $70. I'm thinking about all these games where like I just had to do just a little bit more. And like those are the ones that like really stick out in my mind. So there's something about that.
Absolutely. You know what's funny? For my Steam Deck game that I figured out how to run was Star Wars Force Unleashed. If for some reason,
no, like the 360 version or like the Wii version? Oh, the Steam version.
No, the Steam version won't run on Steam Deck unless you go into the OS. You have to go into the OS and just like download some kind of driver, put it on the like the root folders and whatever. All this I did just to get like this game that is like, it's a 2-generation old game. Just to get it running on Steam Deck. I had to do all this stupid shit, and I finally got it running, and I'm like, well, now I have to play it. And I did for like a few stages because I don't like that era of Star Wars. It was like really edgy, but I'm like, I'm here and I got this to work. And I'm gonna have a good time, damn it.
Seriously, if you want to see like the most worth it video game to someone, ask a person who loves Fallout New Vegas how to install the good version of Fallout New Vegas.
Okay.
It takes 3 to 4 hours, but it is worth it.
Like half my playtime doing it when I did that for Select and Start. That was my second episode, and it was half of it was the time spent going on. And I played this game twice before I did this. Was coming and playing it the third time with like mods in mind, and them not working, and then like spending another hour on it. There's that thing. And to your point, like Jorge, I was like, Max Payne 2 is not supposed to run on the Steam Deck, and I have the PC version of it. And like I could just play it on my computer that I'm talking with y'all on right now, but I got mad at the idea that I couldn't play Max Payne 2, even though it was on my Steam library. So I said, fuck you. And I opened it up and messed around with it until I figured out a way to play it. And I played those first 2 levels out of spite. I love Max Payne 2. I didn't want to play it that day. I just got mad at the idea that I couldn't.
Yeah. I'm trying to get into classic Max Payne. I'm actually going through and deciding which version, because I heard the PC one needs mods to run efficiently, so it's still not the ideal experience. But
it's not the ideal experience, and it's like even if you do get it working like I did back in the day on my like rinky-dink laptop, it's got so many like sound and audio issues. But
yeah, that's a shame.
They are incredible games.
So why don't we take a quick break with a segment I call Game Ratings. I'll present a category like fighting game finishing moves, play it loud Game Boy colors, games you'd rent at a Blockbuster, and we're going to come up with something underrated, overrated, and accurately rated. Today's topic is video game fandoms.
Oh boy.
Not the games themselves, but the fandoms surrounding them.
I'm going to go last because there's one I can't figure out.
Okay.
So I will take last place.
Yeah, Keifer, would you like to start, or I can lead by example if you'd like?
I would love you to lead by example, just to make sure I'm doing this right.
Sure.
Oh, you know what? I'll go second then, just so Keifer gets a.
All right. So I'll just shotgun my 3. Y'all can yell at me if I say something stupid or interesting.
Boo!
My underrated video game fandom is the Armored Core fandom. I think that the Armored Core folks, they stay in their lane. At most, I think they get a little bit, let's say, high and mighty when it comes to comparing their mech games to other games or their games to like Gundam games specifically.
I know.
Ho. Did you know the real Gundam game is Armored Core?
I got a little tired of that actually. Yeah, go on.
But that being said, I feel like I don't know any Armored Core, sure this is anecdotal, I don't know any Armored Core fan who, when getting more news of like a new Dark Souls style game by From Software, are like, like they should be doing more Armored Core. It's, anytime more Armored Core comes out, they're just like, yippee, Armored Core. I can't wait.
That's the mark of a healthy fandom.
Mm-hmm. I'm patiently waiting for my Armored Core 6 DLC. I know it'll happen soon because you can't get an Armored Core game without getting a spin-off game. So I don't know. They stay in their lane.
You know what you do when there's no new Armored Core? You play the ones that are out, and you have fun with
Armored Core, which is what I did. Like,
complaining.
And maybe that's why also like it's a fandom I feel very attached to, because when 6 was coming out, I was like, well, I'm the From Software guy. I gotta play more Armored Core games, and so I went out on my way and I played 3 and 4 Answer, and I'm like, yeah, these games rule. I had to work a little bit to do it, but it was worth it. And the fandoms were largely inviting, and mostly they were just like, okay, first of all, if you're going to play 4 Answer, you need to switch the controller. Switch it to this one. So I think they just want people to talk to. So that's my underrated.
Words, Kyle. You said worth it.
That's true. It is worth it.
You said it.
My overrated, however,
we solved what the worth was.
Yeah,
it's true. It's you put me in a mech and you say, download this ISO.
Download the ISO
So my overrated video game fandom is Animal Crossing. Now, what I am not saying, dear listener, is Animal Crossing is not cute and lovely. It is. What I am saying, though, is for a game that's about ruralist ideologies of like collectivist Japan and the Inaka and like the beauties of community, we sure do make this basically just about like franchising, mascotting, and like buying as much product as possible.
True.
And I'm not saying you can't consume things if you play a game that's even like 1% anti-capitalist. I just think that Animal Crossing just has it's a lot of buying stuff, and it's like people get really fervent about this game, and I don't know, I liked it when it was like weird and mean.
Are you suggesting to me that art being at the intersection and mercy of consumerism is plaguing the enjoyment that you derive out of this? This is the first
You're putting words into my mouth, Keifer. Wow. I said no such thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think also like now it's just got so much to live up to with it being like everyone's COVID game that like, I don't know. It's just, it feels like it's kind of its own, pardon the pun, island right now. Whereas it doesn't feel like just like a fun little offshoot Nintendo game you played. It's like almost like a reason for it's some people's GTA 6 for Nintendo. Frankly.
Would you say its proximity to capital is isolating you from it in some way?
You know what? Maybe it's just because I have a house now, and
it sucks actually.
It's look. Tom Nook is a very legitimate businessman. A zero interest loan, that is like a man who that's a man following his Islam principles. Like that is very.
I will die on the hill that Tom Nook is a good landlord because he exists in a fictional reality where there are good landlords.
Yeah, he's not a landlord. Right. He is a contractor giving you a zero interest loan on expanding your land.
There you go.
All you have to do is take a plane to other little islands, chop down every single tree, and steal all the wildlife on them.
That's a choice. That is a choice you make. You can regrow those trees.
I'm glad. I am glad the ludonarrative dissonance and the Animal Crossing being like I've seen a lot of people play this wholesome game, this wholesome, cute game about just like going outside, enjoying nature and enjoying life and the everyday things that you can do. Sit on a freaking bench was apparently a big deal in one of these games. I don't know. I don't play Animal Crossing, but then seeing the fans just like show an ugly side about this, like what is going
paradox.
on?
The Pokemon paradox.
It's like, why are you guys like bullying people out of your villages because they're ugly? What? I'm sorry. That's kind of fucked up.
You were supposed to go outside, motherfuckers. You were supposed to go outside.
Yeah, like, that's what the game is about. Like, it's about going and touching grass. What are you doing?
Just another way that capitalism drives these contradictions.
Fine. I guess I have thanks to this, I have my overrated. But Kyle, you still have one left. So.
Yes, I do have one more left. And I will end with my accurately rated. Again, the order doesn't matter, y'all. And I'm going to say Deltarune is accurately rated. It appeals to a lot of children, ex-Tumblr users, autistic adults. And yeah, I like
residents of Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah. Like, yeah, a lot of them are annoying. A lot of the content sphere around this game is particularly frustrating. And I think people are right to be kind of annoyed by that. But also, like, the games are really good, y'all. Like,
there's a point
and I see like so much art coming out of this. So I think it's like Deltarune is one of the most amazing experiences you can have if you can like play it with like other people around you or talk about like other grown adults in person or like that you have vetted about it. And otherwise it's like, yeah, and the larger sphere around it is annoying because it's unfiltered. And I'm not going to pretend like it's not, but like, I think we are all kind of on a similar page that like people understand that like people like it for a reason. I don't think people are like baffled about like the funny game with the fun little characters. Like, I don't get why people like it, but I think also those same people I think have every right to be a little annoyed by some of the rowdy children shouting out their theories when like there's a billion other interesting things to talk about it, like with like character growth and like writing and things that are like actually happening in the story instead of what you think will. So that's my accurately rated.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Jorge, what you got?
So I'll start with accurate for mine, because I really like the F-Zero community. I think they're really cool. There's during the few like the half a year,
just bones, it's just a pile of bones. The F-Zero, yeah, they're chill.
Hey! Here's the thing. The reason I love F-Zero fandom is that it's like you said with the Armored Core fandom, Kyle, where like they're not sitting around waiting for a new game. They're just like, hey, look, I figured out how to do an optimum run with this shitty freaking vehicle in this one track, and there's a video of it, and I'm like, look at this. Like we're still experimenting with what we have. We're still enjoying what we have. A lot of people still play in the fandom. They still play F-Zero 99 like regularly. It's a fun game. A lot of people will share things like, like here's my custom run, or here's my like or they'll share like games that are based on F-Zero, or not based on, but inspired by fan games. That'll be like, well, here's the ones that I think are more polished and feel closer to F-Zero. Here's some that are like aesthetically like it, but not really. And like, it's the thing I find really engaging about a fandom right now, at least at my age, is that people who know how to engage with things outside of like waiting for a corporation to give you a thing and just twiddling your thumbs until they do, and just having no creativity and spending your time with a thing you love. And I feel like one of the fandoms that drew me in was F-Zero, just because of that, because they know what to do with their time. They're not sitting around waiting for Big Daddy Nintendo to give them which they never will. We've accepted this.
I don't know if you've seen the Bit Brigade's newest concert, but their F-Zero original. Yeah, they've done it. So it's really good. Yeah, they really know how to, because it's a speed run, but they know how to hype up the crowd by like purposely driving like a little bit slower and then like hyping it up right at the last second. So it's
stuff
great.
Like that. Like I don't like when fandoms. I absolutely hate when fandoms define themselves by what they don't have. Unfortunately, like the Star Fox fandom is an example of this. Like we just got a new game out, and they're still like, oh well, it's Star Fox 64, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like that either.
All of your games are Star Fox
64.
Yeah,
exactly. Like they have been for the last 5 years, or no longer, like decade even. So like, I don't know, do something with that. Like,
you didn't like Star Fox Command. This is your punishment.
Yes, thank you. Star Fox Command is amazing. What the hell? Okay, so
Sheen, this is the 7th time you've released Star Fox 64.
Yeah, 4th actually, if someone's counting. I am. So my God, like. Yeah. So I something I find, and I'm glad you mentioned the Armored Core fandom too, because it's like, yeah, we don't have any new games coming out. Let's play, like, let me examine the things I love, or just like enjoy them as they are, or create something out of it, like express my love of this through like art or like music, or just something. Put my time somewhere that isn't number one, spend money, number two, wait for game to come out. Like any fandom that defines themselves by those two things are toxic and need to be avoided, need to leave. But yeah, that's my accurately rated. My underrated is the Lisa fandom. The Lisa games, I don't know if you've ever played them, Keifer, are very...
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, I'm aware of at least for a second it's like the cat. I thought you were talking about Atlas's Catherine for like 1 second, and I was like, oh no, the Lisa game that's inspired by like Earthbound.
Yes. Yeah. So this fandom is also like I admire them very much, because like again, there's not a lot of Lisa games. There's only 3 of them, maybe 2 if you want to be pedantic about it. But because of that, the fandom they haven't really like grown to mainstream, even with the re-release that came out for like Switch and stuff. So we're still in this like comfortable niche of like the people who are here genuinely care about what is here, and they're not gonna like hound and harass the creator of these games because he's out living his life doing whatever he wants. I'm pretty sure he's just done with games.
Like,
yeah, he's just like practicing kung fu and like just living life, which is like what the cool ass game developers actually do. And then
no,
go on.
I was going to say, like, I was going to make a point. It sounds like that the Lisa fandom are like the slightly more mature version of like the Deltarune Undertale fan, which, but like coming off of that, just like a game developer who was just like, and I'm on to the next thing now is so Shigesato Itoi.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
That's what the Mother director
he pulled
did.
An Itoi,
like after the Mother series,
and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
He pulled an Itoi. He's like, well, here's my martial arts reel. And yeah, like Kyle said, he's swinging a wushu sword with
fucking Survivor.
I gotta say, I do tip my hat to the Lisa fandom, because a lot of them went over to Look Outside because they're like, it's like Lisa.
Well, also, there's a lot of Lisa fan games that are considered canon just because of how much people invest themselves into.
I didn't know that.
The story. Yeah, like there's at least 2 I'll mention. I think Lisa the Hopeful and Lisa the Pointless are like soft canon considered by the fandom, just because they respect the main game so well, which is more than I can say for like the fandom I'm going to talk about after this. And that to me is admirable. Like I something that I'm drawn to, and I'll repeat it, is a fandom that doesn't sit around and wait for the next game. They do their own thing. They know how to live with this thing they have and express themselves through it. And I find that like a mark of a healthy fan. And then the overrated, and I guess I'm I'm starting fights with this, but Kyle mentioning the Animal Crossing fandom made me think of this. I kind of think the Mother fandom, the Earthbound fandom, has gotten into the overrated territory. As someone who belongs to it, I still consider myself part of the fandom. I love Earthbound. I love Mother. Highly influential games to me. I don't want to speak to fans ever. I don't want to meet them. I don't care if you play the games or not. The newer Earthbound fans are insufferable. I don't know what to tell you. Just the other day, I saw someone like back when I was frequenting Reddit, which has turned out to be a toxic thing for me. But like,
really,
just the other day,
was and is. I'm sorry.
I saw someone spend $2,000 on a complete copy of Earthbound, and then post online about it and be like, "Did I do good?" And I was honest with him. I'm like, "No, you wasted money. Like." I cannot enable this toxic behavior. Like, what do you want? You spent more money that like the money I wish I had right now on a video game so that you can get like brownie points online. Who are you? Get out of my fandom.
In Redditor's defense, like that is like adjusted for inflation what Earthbound cost when it was released originally.
Okay, great. I appreciate your input. I don't care.
They just gave it to you gave a guy $200 and that's your story.
It was 2,000, but yeah.
2,000. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, you missed a zero.
Was it 200?
The reason I put this in overrated is because like in stark contrast to when I did join the fandom, which was like 2005, 2006, where people it was a time of expression. It was a time of like, we are not getting any more games, so we're just gonna like draw fan art and write fanfics and make music and talk about the things we like. We made do. There wasn't even any merchandise for Earthbound in the US back then, aside from like the air freshener and the ruler that were like Nintendo Power exclusive. I mean, Fangamer was made because there was no Earthbound merchandise in the US. They started as like unlicensed Earthbound storefront. I don't know if you knew this, Keifer. And that these things, like there was so much passion in the fandom. People were so full of inspiration and wanting to create, wanting to take that power instead of waiting for a corporation to give it to you. You know what I mean? To give you permission to play a thing. The fan translation came about. This was the golden era of that fandom time. And then now it's just like, okay, here's another person complaining about Mother 3 not coming on. I'm like, it's been 20 years now. Like, you need to learn how to move on. This is not what we say to be cool around here. Oh, wait, maybe it is. That's why you're saying it. I don't care how much money you spent on the Mother 3 Game Boy Advance. In fact, I think you got ripped off. I'm sorry. And then, like, to top it all off, the only discussion outside of is the fan theories around, like, all the, like, dark and scary things that happen in the game, which is just, like, a part... just a small part of like the experience as a whole. Kyle, to go back to the Animal Crossing fandom, you were saying, like, I also find it ironic that Earthbound, a game, Mother 2, a game about going outside and experiencing the world and finding beauty in the mundane and the everyday ordinary things, has a fandom that's just obsessed with like spending money, doing nothing, staying at home, like I don't know, being depressed, like
the bad guys of Mother 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to be old man yells at cloud, but it
consumerism.
does feel a bit different from when it was like the peak of, what was it, Starman.net and people just posting weird art that they made versus now when it's just kind of this.
Let's just complain. Let's just spend all day complaining. Like, I don't want to hang out with that person. In fact, I think they should be gatekept. Like, you're not contributing anything to the conversation.
It's a genuine tragedy. It's like the commentary of Mother 3, like commenting on itself, the absence of something, or like just the way the internet has changed by becoming this more commercialized thing instead of like the DIY scene, right? Like, people were DIYing their love of this thing.
Yes.
And like they were like nurturing a community out of like this thing, and then with this proliferation of everything over the last 30 years, and it's like they've become like that the scene in Mother 3 where it's like you have the idyllic loving pasture transformed into like turned into like people who are meaner and more consumerist because they introduced consumerism into this like Garden of Eden, the the apple that introduced sin into this
Yeah,
world.
remember that scene in Mother 3
And-
where they bring a TV into the small community and then everyone's obsessed with buying shit now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. It's like the game is telling you this is bad. Oh my god!
And it's like I spent $2,000, and it's like they should beat you to death with a rock, man. No, they shouldn't.
I would go that
shouldn't
in a video game, I guess. But
whoever
yeah,
paid $2,000 for Mother 2 should be dragged out to the road and shot, John.
Wow. Okay, Garfield. All right, calm down, Garfield.
Paying $2,000 for a product in Mother is what Porky would do.
Exactly.
Like that is like a thing like that scene where like everything from Earthbound's being displayed in the museum.
You get it. You get it, Keifer. Thank you. That, oh my god, that scene, people treat that scene like oh shit, it's Mother 2, it's all connected. I'm like, no, they're showing you how like this poor kid cannot get over like what happened. Like it's oh my god, it's oh my lord. Yes, thank you.
When are they gonna release another one? That's just
no, but yeah, oh my god. I could go on, but I won't. That could be a whole
let's get to Keifer's.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be quick with mine because it's I didn't want to interface too much with fandom to like get my answers for this one because I have been so much more zen opting out of that environment when people were like, oh man, the toxic Deltarune Undertale community. And it's like, I was 19 when that game came out. So a lot of that like rolled off me like water, buddy. Like, yeah, I was getting some of the stuff on the outskirts, but I wasn't getting like something. Apparently whatever's going on in there. I have real life friends, the people you referred to earlier, Kyle, the autistic artists of the world, again, Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, throw a rock.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people standing outside the movie theater on the weekends where Five Nights at Freddy come out. And it's like, oh yes, I missed that boat, guys. I was 18 when that came out. It's very interesting, that culture. The point is, I didn't interface too much with fandom, but like I do interface with the like, you know, certain Reddit communities and things, or like I'll start posting about a game I'm playing, and then like the For You algorithm on all my apps start curating that stuff toward me. And something I've been interfacing with, and maybe this is just a real life thing, but everybody who plays Deep Rock Galactic that I've seen are just like cool people. They don't talk about it in a way that's like game, actually, invasive. But like just like, hey, I'm playing Deep Rock. I didn't know what Deep Rock Galactic was. I just knew a lot of cool people were playing it, and that's like the ideal for me.
It's a dad ass video game.
I can't tell what the fuck is going on in there. It's like I played a little bit of it because I bought it on like a humble bundle thing, and it's I get the appeal for sure, and I would love to multi with people if the call happens, I'll answer it. But the fact I didn't know what was going on in this game, but I knew a bunch of like chill people were playing it, speaks volumes to me. Yeah. I'll also give a shout out to the Hitman community, the video game series. I've been playing World of Assassination a lot these past few weeks, and one wonderful game, a beautiful way of like putting in expression in open world spaces or open environment spaces, not an open world. Being able to like get so much, not content, but like the developers just making the most out of these maps that they made and being able to make new game modes within it. Beautiful, wonderful. The community support on it, wonderful. The Reddit, remarkably calm, considering like this game could be like a perfect like hotbed for like reactionary Nazis. But everybody's
everyone just wants to clip them. Yeah, they just want to like clip themselves throwing a can of spaghetti sauce at a guy's head.
And it's great. Every time I throw a can of spaghetti sauce at a guy's head, I'm having the time of my life. I'm with my people. So yeah, shout out to the Hitman fandom. I hope that stays that way. Accurately rated Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
I feel like that's a very accurate fandom.
Actually,
to me.
Yes,
it is. Again, I don't know what is going on in there, but I know what it looks like. I know how it plays, and the people who play with it seem like they're having a blast in a way that they are evangelizing it, but not in like a Mormon way or a Jehovah Witness way. More of a they're having a lot of fun over there, actually, kind of way, which is what you hope. You know, what people just having a lot of fun over there. They're loud, they're proud. I'm an ally, but I haven't played it yet, guys.
I remember making a friend feel very good when we were riding back from a protest on a bus, and I was like, tell me about your Blue Mage, Tom. And he told me all the things he had to do to get the Marlboro mount, and I'm like, that's great, buddy.
See, 14, very artistic fandom, too. Like, a lot of really good artists in there. 14 and 11 by extension, Final Fantasy 11, which I've been playing.
Oh yeah.
Just full of people. Like what I admire about these fandoms specifically is just their ability to catalog and keep track of everything for the sake of new players. The wikis for these games are basically the walkthroughs. Like everything you need to know is there, and they've made it possible for you to do solo runs of these games just through community effort alone. And that alone, to me, is like amazing.
Incredible onboarding. That's really wonderful. You know what? Put Final Fantasy 11 in underrated.
Oh yeah, actually, because 11 just now 11 is blowing up because 14. Like every time Andrew Blewett.
Every time 14 fucks up.
Yeah, Andrew Blewett, who's a friend of the show, invited me to 11 and was explaining to me like the reason, like every time 14 ends an expansion, like 11 blows up because they all migrate to here. And it's been fun to play 11 again, or not again, but for the first time actually, Keifer. Like funny you mentioned it because I have been playing 11 recently, and just being in awe at like the extensive amount of information for a game that was intentionally obtuse, so that the community would figure out, and they turned up, and they did.
Kyle, you want to talk about a game that's like rewarding to play because of how much of a pain in the ass it is to access it? Try installing Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, actually, that also took like an hour for me to do.
I know that's past the threshold on the amount of toil. I'm sorry. The only mean thing I'll say about Final Fantasy 14, again, I agree with everything you've said. However, one time I was at a dinner party and I was at the far end of the table and I was in between two people who just got to play the new expansion of Final Fantasy 14, and I did not get to talk at all that evening.
I'm so sorry, Kyle.
That's like a Deltarune release week for some people. I'm sorry.
I know what that's like, Kyle.
You just got overrated, and I'm sorry for any hate mail this might get you. I may seem adversarial when I say this, but I mean, if your listeners haven't caught on to what I'm about here, I'm putting it all out there. Gacha game fandoms. And it's not necessarily anything to do with the writing of these video games. It's nothing to do with like the things that like make these gacha games appealing. But I just find something deeply defensive about the way they talk about the model of the game that they're obsessed with. Like that isn't part of the reason they're obsessed with it. And I find it a little sad that like there's a lot of like Discord communities for these games where like it is like dependent on like these people getting right drops or investing a lot of money into getting the experience that they hope to get and experience.
I don't like how cavalier they are about the gambling for waifus kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, you're among friends, Keifer. Both me and Kyle share this stance on gacha games. Like we both kind of are alarmed by how much of a gateway it is into gambling. Despite like how you said, like, you put it perfectly. People get really defensive when you bring that up.
And like that's really unfortunate for me because I think like a game can speak for itself. Like again, like I talked about how even the communities that like are low key, there's just like you can see the joy in there.
Yeah, of course.
But there's just sort of like a sort of like, not for all of them, of course, because like the like certain of these like Genshin Impact, there's too many people to like say like, oh, dismiss the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
There has to be an appeal in there. And I know that part of the appeal is in the gambling of the thing, but they rationalize that by saying, oh yeah, the writing's good. Yes, the writing's good. That's how they get you. Like if casinos had good writing in it, you wouldn't leave. Like if slot, they did, that's what they did. That's what gacha machines are. There are casino machines that tell you a story so you stay there and keep putting money into the Metal Gear one.
Oh my God. Yeah, and
it's
to be fair, not everyone. I'm gonna steel man it. Not everyone's there to spend money. Some people do play like the free version of it. It's like a chore kind of game where you play it a little bit for one day just to get that drop. I understand that there are people with a healthy relationship to it. However, it does. I think it's what you said earlier, Keifer, where it's like glossed over the fact that this is just gambling and like no one really wants to acknowledge that, and that's weird. I think that's weird. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. I think you can respect yourself a little bit more and still. Maybe you can even still enjoy these things and still respect yourself more. But it is the fact that you are willing to disrespect yourself so much to rationalize this thing before your own self. I'm sorry if that sounds pretentious or dismissive to anybody, but
I think it's honest. It's okay.
Your move.
No, I think people deserve smut that's feature complete, I think people, if they're going to play something titillating, like actually lean into it, buddy.
All right. End of thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
just to finish up, because Kyle, you remind me, like every time I see like a really good anime girl statue, and I'm like, oh shit, wow, they got the body type good on this one, and then I find out it's a Nikkei character, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Now imagine you could pay imagine paying $200 to maybe get that
Oh
statue.
my god, dude. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just a Mario Kart like slot machine sound happening every time you put $200 into the statue machine.
Let's go gambling. Okay,
Let's go gambling.
Got the dud.
You can't put like 3 things that I have to edit into the episode back to back like that. Just spread it out a little. Is all I'm asking.
All right, sorry.
This is how my brain works. I have the worms.
Fair. All right. Well, why don't we get back to the episode?
Brain Lords, video games of the mind.
Rated M for mature. U.S. Agent Leon Kennedy is on a search and rescue mission. What he finds is pure evil. The award-winning must-have action title of 2005 is now a PlayStation 2 event. With new weapons and an additional storyline featuring the mysterious Ada Wong. Evil has evolved. Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation 2, only from Capcom.
I think my partner's a rat. We gotta shut him up. They want a war? They got a war. Grand Theft Auto 3. Out now on PlayStation 2 and coming soon to PC. Rated M for mature.
Can 4 average kids save the world from an alien invader? With your help, they can in Earthbound for your Super NES. The fate of mankind is being threatened by the evil alien Gygus, but 4 spunky kids with psychic powers accept this incredible challenge and embark on a journey to save the world. 24 megs power this adventurous game as you travel to 12 different locations and select from more than 40 weapons and 80 items to battle your enemies. Battery backup saves your progress in your quest to destroy Gygus. It's Earthbound for your Super NES.
Now get the Earthbound Player's Guide free with your purchase of the Super NES Earthbound Game Pack.
Brain Lords, video games of the mind.
Well, I got another question for y'all.
Yo,
How worthy are the recommendations of opinions of strangers for games?
What kind of strangers we talking?
People online.
Guy walks up to you on the
What's the
street and
environment?
says, you gotta play Brandished.
I want to meet this guy again.
I say, got no change, brother. I'm sorry.
Honestly, if a homeless man started talking about Brandish, I'd be like, keep going, and I'll sit next to him.
No, I actually would like engage with like a person, like if they were like saying like, if you're not selling me anything you don't have on you, let's talk. Let's
The
talk.
reason I keep
Let's-
bringing up
let's-
Brand...
Handhandle information. Okay, sorry. I'll go on.
I'm sorry. The reason I keep bringing up Brandish is because I have this like joke I've been telling to myself all week of like what Deltarune fans will say about the new chapter, and it's like it's all pointing to this. It's like secretly Toby Fox means this. He's really trying to say like XYZ, and then it's like what Toby Fox is actually trying to say with Deltarune Chapter 5. You should probably be playing Brandished.
I know, right? That's how I felt about Chapter 2. It's like, oh, okay, I should play treasure games. Got it.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Again, it's a seeing people have fun factor for me. It's not just like people being away about it. It's not like the fandom, the memes or anything like that, but it is seeing people just express an earnest joy towards something. And that's what that sells me on it. It's like, oh, this isn't rage. This isn't like something that you feel trapped in. This isn't just a social mode for you. This is something that actually like independently summons something in you.
I think it's easy to be skeptical on like a lot of the recommendations you'll get, loudly from strangers or just maybe witnessing other people like anecdotally is going to be like we're talking about like paying the admission fee to be in that zeitgeist. But clearly like something about that, if people are willing to speak about it, is giving them something that they wanted.
I feel that people tend to, number one, they gravitate to, other people speaking positive about something. But number two, I think a lot of people want to be part of a thing. Gaming now is more social of an experience than ever. Like, I still have to remind myself that like I am the weirdo who plays games for me. most people play games because they want to be a part of like that experience, not just the game itself, but the social aspect of it. And I think this is where the opinions of others do matter for when others are looking for something that is quote unquote worth it.
Yeah, play is very social.
Now more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, like they what was that term that they coined a couple years ago? Friend slop, which is like sometimes a term of endearment, but there is just a whole like economy of video game that's like, this is the game y'all are playing this weekend, and maybe you'll play it a second time. And it's like, yeah, that is speaking to a communal thing going on here, especially post lockdown, where like Among Us was like this huge thing for $4 that people were playing to like spend time with each other.
Yeah.
People realize like this is a language. This is a language and like a way of communicating. If they're going to put gaming in the love language thing, guys.
Yeah, I will gladly pay $8 for like the parlor game of the weekend. That's lovely.
Is it worth
Probably.
it?
Is it worth it?
If you're strong enough.
I'd probably get more, like, if we're
Nice
just talking
Men in Black
hours, if we're getting more hints out of it, that's heat in the theaters, then frankly, I'm spending $8 getting like 3-4 hours. It's a pretty good deal.
Or you could watch Men in Black twice in 3 hours and have a great time. You should put in that "is it worth it" if you're strong enough thing as the stinger for this episode. But I'm not going to backseat edit for you. I'm not going to backseat edit for you.
I got your reference. You can't slip a Men in Black quote by me. I know that movie from heart.
That movie's incredible. Better than Ghostbusters. Anyway, moving on.
Whoa. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that later. Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how dare you?
I think Ghostbusters is great. I think Ghostbusters are great. I'm just like, if I'm gonna, I'm controversial today with a friend experience thing, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about strangers, right?
The thing I find interesting is that a lot of people today will just go on like Reddit, Twitter, or look up like Google reviews on stuff and games, more like specifically for the sake of conversation. Ask complete and total strangers who do not know them and they do not know each other, is this game worth it? And what I find fascinating about that is that like this person doesn't know you. How do they know what you like? How do they know what you think is worth something? How do they know what your situation is, what your emotional connections are to like media, your literacy, the value you place on like the experience as a whole, rather than like how much money it is or how much time it takes. And to place that faith on complete strangers is something that I often think about, because it's like, I would never do that. No one knows who I am. In fact, a lot of the times people recommend stuff to me, it's off base because they're not really thinking, well, this is what Jorge would like. They're thinking, this is what I think Jorge likes. Not that I don't appreciate people's recommendations. I always want to learn about new stuff. It's rare that when I want something that I don't just seek it out for myself. You know what I mean?
There has to be a way of like disseminating information that isn't just the media, right? Or the news, marketing, anything like that. Sometimes it will find you, and maybe it is just like out in the wild, but I think we're just a lot more receptive to not being cornered into anything. Think about how much more respect you have for like these people who like enjoy these things. They're not salespeople, right? They're people enjoying it. Maybe they were influenced by marketing themselves.
Yeah,
they're telling you. They don't have the game in their hand. They're not making you buy it. They're not a person in like the Walmart asking you what your phone provider is. They're just a guy. They're just a person telling you, this is what I like. I want more people to play it.
I'm glad you're bringing this up, because sometimes I find myself when I talk about a game to someone else, and this is like, this could be friends, I get this weird response where it's like, here I am. I'm doing what you're doing, where you're saying, I just want to talk about a thing I like. I just want to tell you why I like this. But I always get met with this response of like, well, I'll check it out if it's on sale, or I have so many games now. But I'll see if I see if I can play it soon. And I'm like, that's not the conversation I want to have here. Like, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not trying to get you into it. I just want to talk to you about a thing that I like. It's that simple. Just listen. Or ask questions, live by curiously.
There's like I got my friends that I run into in the wild sometimes, and I just like, I don't even tell them to play a game. I'm just like, I've been playing Hitman lately, and like I just tell him like a thing I did at Hitman. He's like, that fucking rocks, man.
Yeah.
And like maybe he'll play it, maybe he won't. But he always wants to listen to me tell me something that fucking rocks.
That's the perfect situation. Yeah.
You should be able to distill why a game fucking rules in a couple of sentences so that normal people can understand you. Like, it's a good skill to have, damn it.
You know how my friend sold me on Red Dead Redemption, a game I have no interest in. But he's like, check this out. And he streamed it for me a little bit. And he robbed a fucking train. And I'm like, this is incredible. I didn't know you could do this in a video game. This is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. Just like show your enthusiasm for something. And you as the person talking about it, show enthusiasm. You as the person listening, let them express that. And then live through them vicariously as though you are playing the game at that moment. Like that's the cool thing about it.
We have a limited time on this earth. I think it is important to be able to understand why people like certain things and just leave it at that.
And your friends are not salespeople. They're not trying to get you to spend money. Sorry.
I want you to think about this for a second. I remember, I think I first gained consciousness watching the E3 where they showed off Watch Dogs, and I realized, oh my God, it's scripted. It may be an engine, but it's all still scripted. I was 17 years old when that happened, right? And think about how little a video of a guy walking slowly around an open world doing scripted events has sold you on the game versus you watching I don't know, Chris Person's highlight reel or whatever, just some silly shit happening in a game. And you're like, oh, you can do that. Actual player interfacing with something versus being sold something out on on the marketing blitz. It's different.
It is so interesting these days seeing how many more advertisements, especially on large stakes, big money advertisement, your Jeff Keighley type of joints, are using basically the scripted, unscripted, play sessions. I saw a game trailer the other day that was a team, a co-op team building type of game, a friend slop, if you will. And the gimmick is you're just all on a plane and someone's got to fly the plane. Someone's got to repair, and it's a commercial airliner, goofy gimmicky style graphics, cartoony. And ice is coming up on the wings, and you got to go jump out on the plane and hack it off. The plane's ripping wings off, and you've got to hit the side of the plane with a wrench to repair it in time. It's just, and the trailer was functionally just a series of vignettes of basically people screaming. And I'm like, yeah, this looks kind of fun actually.
There's a reason people gravitate toward streamers too, because they just want to see. I have mixed feelings on the age of streaming with video games. On one hand, I feel like people, they don't really want to play games. They just want to watch someone else play it for them and then experience it vicariously through it. That's fine. I personally would rather play the games myself. But then that in itself is the beauty of it is that the reason they appeal to other people is because they see someone playing a game in a way that a video, someone playing it for a walkthrough wouldn't. They're just goofing around with it. They're showing you all the funny things you can do. They're playing a game as a normal person would. They're just doing whatever feels fun at that moment.
Yeah, I think you're able to glean a lot more worth out of just seeing these little highlights and snippets.
I have a story to tell. It's a quick one. But I remember when my brothers rented the Matrix, I think Revolutions game, the second one. It was Path of Neo. So
okay.
You're in a train. There's a scene where you're inside of the train and there's floating bodies and it's kind of creepy. I watched both my brothers spend I shit you not, 2 to 3 hours in this one section just because they were laughing hysterically at the ragdoll effects, because they found out you could push the floating people and if you did it the right way, they would just zip to the other side and just hit other stuff and just bounce around, and they were just losing their goddamn minds. And I'm watching this and going I'm tired of seeing this for 2 hours. Aren't you people going to play this fucking game? But I didn't realize it. I think about this now because to me, that's an example of no, they are actually playing the game. They're playing the game as they should. It's a video game. They're having fun with it. It's the essence of entertainment is there, where you're just allowed to do something for the sake of it, and I think about that a lot to justify in my head, or to explain Steelman to myself why people are drawn to streamers so much these days.
So I got another question for y'all.
Jerona!
How does a game stand out from a wide breadth of options?
This is the one I struggle with. I don't know.
Yeah, I think more what this is getting at is is a game more or less worth it simply by being similar to its contemporaries? I think we've all played these games that of popular video game will come out, and then you'll see a wave of other games that are good, maybe not amazing, but they're kind of aping off of that in a novel way. Some do it better than others, but like, are those games like not as worth it just because they're a little bit more flash in the pan, or because they're a little bit more derivative? Or
I don't know. I was talking with my partner about this earlier because I did ask her like what she deemed like games to be worth it, right? And for me, I think the thing that stands out is like, can I tell if this game was made because the developers wanted to make it, or that they felt compelled to make it, right? And I think that that's kind of something you can sniff out, if not from like a trailer or from like the vibe, then by like seeing other people play the game and see how these features are implemented and like what their spin on it is, and like what is like the joy, or what is like the intended emotion beyond like you're playing the game, like inspiring in you. There's lots of games that are like, oh yeah, this is like game 6 of the series that's like made with a lot of polish and love that we, enjoy. And then there's games that are like, every Final Fantasy game is like a canvas for a new mode of like telling a story, right? It's like having a franchise. It's like, all right, what are we doing this time? In like, I don't know. It's like, here's the annual release of Assassin's Creed. Fuck it, Egypt. I don't know. When are we getting a Haiti one? Come on.
I would play that.
That's a game I think somebody would want to make. That's what I said. Like a Haitian Revolution, an Assassin's Creed game would go hard. You would tell somebody really want to make that. But like a game where it's like vaguely in Rome, it's like, you made that because people want it, but did you do something in this that you wanted to do?
Yeah, the pandering does tend to shy me away from certain games too. When it feels too pointed, too deliberate, or too like designed by committee. And I can tell they're just like, it happens a lot with, in my opinion, I feel this way about like remakes, where it's like, we're just going through the motions. Like, of course people are going to play this, so let's just, like, I like how you put it, Keifer, because I call it when I can tell someone just clocked in and out of work that day, and there's no message. I can't feel the humanity behind like the design. Like that really does like put me away from certain things.
So can you?
Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm so scared of that.
I am too, man. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Again, I guess for me is like, I can play a perfectly good version of Ocarina of Time on my N64. Like, I don't know what else is there to do.
Yeah, the 3DS one was also very good too.
You can play
which no one plays.
Ship of Harkinian on the PC.
Oh my god, I love Ship of Harkinian. Like, that is the definitive Ocarina of Time for me, just in how much you can get.
I got a randomizer. I get a different Ocarina of Time every day.
So goodness, I guess a question for y'all is, what's then an example of like a remake that is worth it versus one that is not? Just so we can maybe get a little bit more analytical.
This is controversial for me, but I actually, like, for how it started, Final Fantasy VII Remake was, to me, like a perfect remake, because it did the two things that a remake sets out to do, which is appease to like the original fans, and then bring in new people and combine those two to be able to have a conversation together on an equal level. Remake did that fantastically, because like it was a remake of Final Fantasy VII, but it was telling a new story that people didn't need to do homework to invest themselves in, and it had like a gameplay style that was accessible to most people. So these are things that like that I won't get into my opinions on Rebirth, which I didn't really like as much, and in fact kind of hated, but like basically
one of the best games on a gameplay level ever, but
on a on a story level, god damn it, what the hell happened?
Yeah, sorry.
So and another one is I actually found that for me is like as an old head, but as a newcomer, the perfect remake for me was Resident Evil 2, which was like an incredibly like polished version of the original. I most of the time I will advocate for playing the original over the remake, except for games like the Resident Evil 2 remake, because it does so much more with it that it's essentially a new game. It's not like it uses the original as a framework, but it is giving you a brand new experience. It's taking it to a different level. It maintains the spirit of the original, which is like almost dungeon-like exploration with horror elements and survival horror elements in it. A stalker enemy that's like great and exciting, even though I usually hate those. Yeah, like I guess what makes a remake worth it is, will it allow you to participate in like the contextual larger conversation that the original game was a part of, in a way that doesn't like make you feel excluded. I think that's what makes a remake worth it.
I'm going to throw a recent example because I covered it on my podcast, like just most recent episode, Live Alive. That is a remake that doesn't fundamentally change what the experience was on the Super Famicom, but does feel like everybody coming back to it because it's like old and new people. Like the supervisors are like all the people that developed on the original one, and then it's like basically fans of Live Alive, and it's like nobody would remake Live Alive for $1. Nobody who worked on a Live Alive remake was thinking Christmas bonus is coming. That is not what they did.
Remake that for $1.
Like, yeah, and they remaked it for getting $1. Yes, actually sold better than the original did. But,
that's awesome, actually.
But like that feels like the remake was like them getting a chance to go back to something and do what they wish they could have done 30 years ago. Yeah. Like with the music, I mean, there's a scene that is influenced by tokusatsu anime, or not anime. All different types of like Japanese entertainment, like your giant monster shows, like your Kamen Riders of the world, and the tokusatsu, and then that had a theme song, but like it was in that 16-bit Super Famicom style, so it's just going in the remake. It has vocal lyrics by the guy that did Chala Hechala from Dragon Ball Z. Hironobu.
Yes, thank you.
Like they got. They brought him in. They brought Kageyama in to do a song for the remake of a video game for 1 minute and 30. It's like a 3-minute song.
So good.
And you hear it as the intro for that chapter in the game.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
All right. Yeah, stuff like that actually justifies a remake. Like re-examining it, not just like copying it and then padding it out with like, I don't know, fluff and cutscenes. Like just giving it more life to what was already there. I think it's a perfect way to approach it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I have a when we talk about like iterative or maybe like repetitive or redundant, let's say, derogatively games, something I wanted to bring up is that like I've noticed there are some games that are sort of derivative of another game that are more worth it to a person than the original. So where I've noticed this the most is, you have your Dark Souls type game, and Lies of P and Hollow Knight would not exist in the same capacity without Dark Souls. But I know so many people that understand that Dark Souls is cool. Maybe like my wife like thinks that the characters in Bloodborne are neat. But when I beat Lies of P in front of her for the first time, she was like, Is that what people like the Dark Souls games? I'm like, yeah. Are they all like that? Yeah. And so even though these games I think are like pulling a lot from their contemporaries, I think it's like what you said earlier, Keifer, like it's clearly the people making this, like they have something that they want to say. Even though this is like clearly going off of something very immediately before it, like there's a sincerity there that like, even though it doesn't stand out maybe as much, it's almost more worth it because it's like so much of a yes and.
I don't need you to like make up new words. I just need to hear you say some good sentences.
Yeah.
You can add a new word in there, but yeah.
If you want to, you can add some new
maybe
words
like one
in there,
new word, but then the rest make them all
fun.
old words for me, please.
Of course.
I enjoy riffing.
And then, okay, so to answer your question more directly, Kyle, about how does the game stand out from a wide breadth of options, I think it's just what are you looking for and how do you find it? And I saw someone talk about it today, but like in an algorithmic world, it feels like we have less ability to think for ourselves and decide for ourselves. So it is a little harder to do that these days.
We had the monoculture before that, though.
And yeah, there's also that where it's like, I can only enjoy this one thing by this one company, and like I don't want to talk about anything else or examine anything else. If it's kind of that, this is a problem I have with the Mega Man X community or the Mega Man community as a whole. Is like some of them are like so anti like Mega Man clones, and it's kind of weird because it's like, bro, we haven't had a new game since like X Dive, and that kind of was. I'm sorry, that one sucked. Like I don't know what to tell you.
You don't have Mega Man at home, bro. We do actually need to go to the restaurant.
11 was okay. I didn't really like 11. These days I prefer Mega Man clones because they're doing way more with that bases than like Capcom will ever do at this point. for my money, to go back to the question, that's what I look for. I'm like, well, how does this like continue the conversation and take it to new places? How am I moving that forward further? Like, for example, the action platformer genre. What are we doing to make this better and new, and how, and who is coming in to contribute? What is being added instead of like just rehashed and like recooked, rebaked? I guess that does mean a lot to me when I feel like there is like not only a homage and a respect to the inspirations, but also like here is what we also like, our identity is here too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's well said.
Okay.
Let me ask you all this as kind of a way to sort of wrap things up then.
Girona!
Yeah.
What do people mean when they ask if a game is worth it then?
It's all over the place.
If you're strong enough.
It's all over the place. It just depends on the person. There is no such thing as like a definitive metric for what a game's worth is. So when someone asks if something is worth it, you kind of are subjecting yourself to the whims of other people and what they think you like, and that isn't always true.
Yeah,
because they like different things. We're all different.
I think the beauty of it is that when someone like excitedly expresses about a video game, it's kind of up to you to sort of piece together, solve this little mystery, if you will. It's like, what made this person react this way? Are they just excited? Are they shrieking about FF14, and then you go to their profile and there's nothing but like posts of FF14 fan art for about like 12 scrolls? Or is there something more to it than that? So I think it's kind of fun to figure that out, honestly.
Is it talking to you, or is it speaking to you? Is this giving you an in, or is it like, no, I insist. Let me be here. I'm going to be here now. We've all had people, even not selling us thing, talking to us about something that we did not invite into the conversation, or maybe they just started a conversation. They're just talking about themselves, and it's like, man, you're not giving me an in here.
Oh my God. This is actually like such a big problem that I face a lot, actually. People talking at you about something and not giving you an in to even ask questions about it. It's really odd. And then when you start trying to contribute, it's just more like you're just like giving more fuel to the fire. They're just like going at that point, and you're like, okay, well, at this point, I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened.
Mm-hmm. Like, and I think art is very much a conversation between the artist and the person experiencing the 100%. Art. And video games is the medium most conducive to that kind of thing. Like, player expression after the game has been developed is how a game sustains life and can be seen many different ways. Like, it's not just, you're being given a set of tools with a wonderful painting already being there on like the canvas, and you're like looking at it and it's like, okay, it came with this second canvas though. What do I do here? What do I do here? It's like, all the paints are there. I gave you all the clues. Let's solve this mystery. Or maybe we can make your own problems. I love making my own problems in the Hitman games. I love it when like I'm trying to do something and it goes completely wrong, and I can choose to reload the game. But I think, no, how many people can fit in this room that I can hit over the head with?
Let me just see this through. Let's see how bad it can get.
I don't use guns in that game because I don't want to find the easy way out. I'm trying to throw every melee weapon I have.
This went from Taken to a like a Groucho Marx movie.
Mm-hmm. I will find you and I will knock you out, and then I'll slip and fall and expose myself.
And I will get caught, and then I'll kill that guy.
Yeah. Is the game speaking to you, or is this game just talking to you?
Well said.
Is it BioShock 1 or is it BioShock?
Oh! God, I still haven't played Infinite. Now that I think about it,
Infinite's a game that's talking to you. It is not speaking. It is a railroad. You are railroaded into experiencing every bit of Ken Levine's.
Yeah,
thoughts.
it is like three different people, all in drastically different outfits, all pointed in separate directions, all speaking towards something.
Sorry to the people who like BioShock Infinite. I was being mean.
Okay.
Even if all the stuff I could say about BioShock Infinite like would not resonate with a person and change how they feel about that game, you do got to admit the game is just like, hey, suddenly ghosts exist now.
Yeah, and they can be hit with a shotgun.
Wait, what?
It's very clear there were like parts of that game that were sort of cobbled together from like earlier cuts.
Ghost.
BioShock Infinite is the Final Fantasy 15 of the BioShock series.
Oh, I'm afraid you're selling it to me. I don't know. Shooting ghosts with a shotgun.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle it came out. It should not have been taken that long to come out.
It's a miracle
and
it
here's
came
the thing.
out. It shouldn't
Final
have.
Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15. I'm sorry for saying you're the BioShock Infinite of your thing because you were something cohesive. Sort of, in your own way.
It says something until it doesn't.
I can't say I'm having a conversation when I'm playing that game.
And then you had to watch Kingsglaive to understand.
And then they're talking to you for a long time.
I think Kingsglaive would actually make you understand BioShock Infinite a little bit more.
Kingsglaive makes more sense for BioShock than Final Fantasy. You heard it here.
That's an episode that y'all should do.
I don't want to watch Kingsglaive again. I really don't. I don't care how many ultrases you're putting in that movie. That you have ultros in a movie, and I still say no.
Hold on. Ultros is in that movie?
Yes, Kyle.
I'm learning something.
If I edit the movie to include a My Chemical Romance song, would you rewatch it?
Oh, okay. Maybe I would. Yeah. If you like mixed in like all these things I didn't like, all this music.
I'm thinking Dead.
Okay.
I'm thinking Dead or something. I'd put that.
All right. Put all of like actually put nothing but My Chemical Romance tracks in it, and I'll watch it. Yeah. Yes, Kyle. Actually, Ultros is in it. You blink and you miss it, but he's in it. It still didn't make the movie good. I don't know. What
I am now 1% more interested in Kingsglaive.
I actually thought it was cool when Diamond Weapon showed up too, but I'm like, at that point I'm like, can we just be
Diamond Weapons?
I am now 1.5% more interested.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. This movie just like pulls some curveballs at you. I guess it's because I'm about to fall asleep and then something happens. Like, well, what the fuck is that? Ultros? Holy shit! Okay, he's gone.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Don't
Here's Diamond Weapon.
I swear to God. And then all of this, just so that like that one cutscene that they added, 0-day patch into the game makes sense because you need to know how the king got overthrown. Actually, you didn't. I don't know why I wasted my time. Final Fantasy 15. What an interesting game. I still loved it. I don't know what to tell you. It's so weird. But yeah.
At the end of the day, it has Florence and the Machine.
It does. Yeah, it does. And that is actually a really good cover of Stand By Me.
It plays at actual people's weddings for a reason.
Oh my God, it's great. Yeah. Final Fantasy 5 brought that to us, and I think that's beautiful. Sorry, 15.
See, we just broke it down. We broke it down. This is what a game. This is what makes a game worth it.
Oh my God,
can we talk like this about it?
Sure. It's like I don't care for Batman and Robin, but it did give us Kiss from a Rose. Or Batman Returns.
That's Batman Forever.
Oh shit,
Batman Forever.
No, you're right. Batman Forever, the third one, to Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face, the worst Tommy Lee Jones performance ever in the history of everything.
If you're strong enough.
Hey, that was him. But yeah, it's a movie. It certainly was a movie. I don't like it as much as other people do, but it gave us Kiss from a Rose. So
Men in Black both gave us Men in Black and also the song. Here comes
and also the song Men in Black.
No. Listen to the Batman Forever soundtrack in its entirety. There are some fucking musicians on there.
Dude, yeah, I will. No, that soundtrack slaps. It's the one thing I like about them. I don't know. I was more of a Batman and Robin fan. That's why I confused it for that. Yeah.
Not as great of a soundtrack.
I think to actually summarize things for a second here.
Sorry.
There's like the beauty of this medium of play is that there's clearly something here in whatever we're talking about, like that we care about, that is making us, like you said, like if we talk about 15 the way that we're doing, clearly there's something worth it about that. And this beautiful game that you now have, dear listener, is that like you get to figure out what that is for any given person for the rest of your life. And I think that's really cool. And sometimes it's going to be worth your time to do that, and a lot of times it's not. But you just got to roll the dice.
I got it. The thesis of the episode just came to me. A game is only made worth it by the people you talk to and how they relate. They reflect that experience back. at you. That's what makes it.
Maybe the real game was worth it inside us this entire time.
You got it.
No. It is. It's worth it. I'm not going to say if you're strong enough. It is worth it if you can like say something that it didn't say to you first.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know. Like,
and make it worth it to others. Talk about it like you mean it. Like you loved it.
Yeah. I often like my metric for whether a game is worth it or not is, do I spend more time thinking about it than I did playing it?
Yeah.
Miyamoto was saying about Mario 64, I think. Like this idea of like you're thinking about it after you play it and you're just like taking it home with you, just pondering on it. It's like, I can't wait to like do that again or try this thing out.
Death Stranding, Breath of the Wild, I've probably thought about both of those games for, 40, 60, 80 hours, but like I played 1,000 Times Resist, that's a 10 to 12 hour video game, and I've probably thought about that for 200 hours.
I still think about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of heats in the theater.
That's a lot of heats in your head.
That's a lot of heats. Oh, you're unlocking that De Niro ending, I'll tell you that.
Like, oh my god. Endless De Niro Pacino sex scenes. Wow.
Now, the wild thing is the fifth viewing in the theater, that takes you straight to the question zone.
Welcome to the question zone. Get ready.
Yes, we've entered the question zone. We've solicited a number of questions. You can contact us at brainlordspod@gmail.com or through Google Forms I post in our Blue Sky sometimes. Our first and only inquiry is from...
What do you mean only? Where are people at? What happened?
Hey, we're busy today. It's all right. I asked some folks and to be fair, I asked what makes a game worth it, and we got one response that was very specific to that, which is from Mude, who says...
Hello, Mude.
With any piece of art, I want to walk away from the work carrying something with me. I want to be affected. I want to be able to reflect back on that experience and relate it to life. Idle escapism can be enjoyable too, but the games that are most worth it for me are the ones where I'm still thinking and feeling after the game ends. And frankly, we could have cut this podcast short. That's beautiful, Mute.
Listener, please take note how at no point was Dollar Valley mentioned, Playtime mentioned, even recommendations. Like this is a person who knows what they want. That's how you find things you like. You learn about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think the important thing to reflect on that too is it's a very like posthumous thing for them, and I think that's important to reflect on. Like you're not really going to get whether or not a game was worth it until the credits, until you've really sat down with it, until like the internet heat has cooled off.
Oh yeah. When you go in, go on, Keifer. Sorry.
You go in with something that you're hoping for, and you come out with something new that you can hope for from something else.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. You can take it with you to the next experience.
Yeah,
it's valuable.
It's like, oh boy, I hope it's like this thing. Oh, I hope the next thing I play is like the last thing. There, like it's like it builds. It's like, oh, this reminds me of this, or I'm interested in this because of this thing. Like, oh, like this is like a Raimi movie. I like my Sam Raimi movies, and then you go in and it's like a different thing on top of that.
I love Sam Raimi too.
Yeah.
Keifer, you're cool. What the fuck?
Thanks.
Well, since we finished our question zone so quick, why don't we take a quick little trip to the rec room where we recommend something inside and outside the world of gaming. Do y'all have any things that you'd like to recommend? Anything that's worth it to you? We did talk about
heat a lot.
Yeah.
What if you were taken to the great ass zone? What would happen then?
I do recommend great ass.
I vote that for the cold open. All right.
Y'all go first. I can't think of anything.
Okay, yeah. I wrote some stuff down. Kyle, do you want to go first, Kyle? Okay.
I'll go. Mine can be pretty quick.
All right, there you go. You can go.
For my video game related thing, I am still finishing up Mina, so I don't have any new or old video games really to recommend right now, but I will recommend some games done quick runs that I thought were really good if you missed the event.
I did.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
So my recommended reviews, hold on, I have them written down. They are the Mario 64 120 star tool assisted speed run. This is a run where Mario is just it's a new version of the task. He is just bebopping around this entire like stage. watching him get like 100 coins in like maybe 30 seconds on a level like on Dry Dar Desert with a flying hat is insane. It's just mock speed, and it's so funny and interesting. Resident Evil 9.
I love TAS runs because like it's just like the ultimate optimization of like a speed run. You can show it to your normie friends and pretend it's like a person playing, and that's also fun to do.
Resident Evil 9 Requiem had some fun tricks. It's cool to see them just like perfectly
finished that.
Yeah, they perfectly know how to kill the bosses, but also like there are glitches where in order to like get past certain zones, you have to kind of rhythmically like kind of twerk on like an edge. And so the couch is just like beatboxing to the rhythm. Memoirs of Magic was this like late night Doom RPG mod, and the guy running it was almost more bamboozled to be playing this game than you are watching it. It was a very like, this boss just died. He's going to drop 5,000 gold. So now would be a great time to donate $5,000. Yeti, you up right now?
Yeah, I like when people get into the run in a way that like I don't know. There's some personalities, and those are always my favorites when like people know how to work the crowd up and like they have like a stage
it was just
presence.
a little insane, which is good because it was like a 2 a.m. run. Snoopy for the Commodore 64. It is a weird old game. Everyone was in on the bit, screaming about how much they love Snoopy. The Elden Ring 4-player all bosses co-op. There's 200 plus bosses in that game, so everyone has to split off in a different direction. And they had someone managing the camera and showing off like interesting things. They also had a mod on to where when one player died, everyone died.
That sounds bullshit.
It was way more dramatic because someone would be like really close to death, and like it does not matter how good of a speedrunner you are. When you get that one bad hit in Elden Ring, you're just like as you're like panic rolling.
You're tilting.
They had a run of their very first pinball run, which was a pinball game called Total Nuclear Annihilation.
Wait, like an actual
tilting? Okay.
Top down like a pinball machine, just to show off a new community. It was really cool.
Okay. Neat.
And then finally,
what does a pinball speedrun look like?
They had to reach like a certain, I forget what it was for Total Nuclear Annihilation, but
it
was
a
like
score?
It was either a score or like meeting a certain like getting like to a certain like conditions met.
All right.
And then finally, Hey You Pikachu. It's a race, a race of Hey You Pikachu, and like simultaneously they're explaining like what
sentences into the microphone first.
But then because it's a speed run, it's like, well, the fastest thing I can do right now, and also the funniest thing I can do, is just name my Pikachu And so both speedrunners are like, so it's important to like get through the tutorial as fast as possible. So now Professor Oak, and then it like finally gets to the point where they can like do something in the game. Like, hold on. It was like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna try and get this. Good morning. And the other player's like, good morning. And they're like, let's go, first try. Because if you don't say it perfectly right, it doesn't.
That is exactly what I imagine a Hey You Pikachu speedrun to be like.
Everyone is losing their shit at it. So those are my video games that I recommend.
Right.
My non-video game thing that I'd like to recommend is maybe this is like fairly tame of a thing to recommend, but the third season of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons, has been going on. It still manages to be really good.
I've heard people talk about it.
Regaining all of the soured feelings I had leaving that final season of the original Game of Thrones. But actually, the thing I'd like to recommend is that they have a companion series called The House the Dragons Made that is a gosh darn like Lord of the Rings level behind the scenes making of.
Oh,
and they have like
those anymore.
It's like 30 or 40 minutes per episode that they have of it behind the scenes. That'll just be like, hey, this was a naval battle. This is what goes into pumping in several million gallons of water 3 times a day and having to like figure out how to direct scenes where actors are fighting in chest deep water. So it's really cool to be like, so this is a scene where we had a dead dragon, so we didn't have to CG, most of the body. So we just molded and cast this dragon, and it's something that's the size of a Fiat 500. So like, I don't know. I miss special features, and in something that is this.
I do too, man.
This is so set heavy, so practical heavy, and there's a good mix of CG and practicals and like fixing stuff up in post, but having to do stuff on location, and it's really cool. So House of the Dragon's made. Even if you don't watch Game of Thrones, I still think would probably be worth it. I would recommend it.
I just feel like making ofs is this needs to come back. We need to care about how things are made again.
Yeah, that's the sucky part about DVDs not being as big of a thing for newer movies, is that like that would make or break. Like a good DVD would be a good behind the scenes.
Yeah, I will buy a movie if it has like a making of. Like that is kind of like my requisite, is I need something more than just a movie.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like self-criticism, but like I hate the whole like post-show, like it's basically a podcast where the actors are like, yeah, and we did that in the episode.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
sure
like,
did.
Show me. This is a visual medium. Show me what happened. What did you do?
But yeah, y'all got anything inside and outside video games to recommend?
I finished the first season of Pluribus. I don't know if you know what that is.
I do. I've been meaning to check that out.
I didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine just like told me, yeah, you should check it out. It's a fun premise. Didn't tell me anything else.
I gotta watch it.
And I started it and I'm like, hang on, this feels familiar. And then the credits roll on like, I'm putting it on while drawing, so I'm not always looking at the screen. Credits roll on like episode 5, and it's like Vince Gilligan. I'm like, are you
didn't know that going in?
I did not. No,
that's great.
So I'm like, oh, that's why it feels exactly like Breaking Bad. Okay. The thing about the show is that it's good. It's very intelligently written. I like the characters. I like how mature it is. I like that the dialogue is very tight. Like it just gets to the point. The pacing, however, is kind of where it loses me a little bit, because there are a lot of like indulgent moments of like, let's just focus on how this one character did this thing that one day. And I'm like, that's great. If you're a filmmaker, I'm sure you're having a blast. As a viewer, I'm like, where is this going? I need something. I need crumbs. But as a whole, I will say like the first episode is excellent, and the last episode was great too. So like it at least does have somewhere it's going. You have to be a little patient with it. It's not like, holy shit, all this shit is happening like Breaking Bad was. But I do appreciate that it's a different approach to the same Vince Gilligan. I think I looked up, he was saying like he got tired of writing bad people, so he wanted to write a story about someone who starts out kind of bad but ends up being good. Like that it's like the opposite of the arcs he's usually doing. And yeah, it's a good time.
Fixing good.
I recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. It's very slow paced. It's slow burn to a fault. Even I found myself sometimes going like, I need you to tell me where this is going. Like actually fucking spell it out for me at this point.
And it's a bit of a science fiction, right?
Oh yeah. It's more hard sci-fi, where it's like near future. It reminded me of the Andromeda Strain. Have you ever seen that? It's that level of like of involvement with its sci-fi. And then so that's my non-gaming recommendation. My gaming recommendation is the Tori series of games. It's spelled Toree. This is by developer Sioctro. They did these little really cute, very short, bite-sized, low-poly games starring a little chick with like sunglasses. And it's like the cutest design ever. It's immediately what drew me into this games. And just recently, there was a sale for them on Steam, and I revisited them, and I thought, oh, these are still good. Like sometimes a game can be just 45 minutes and be perfect, and that's a good example of those. I recommend them.
Is it worth it?
It is worth it if you're strong enough. So yeah, that's what I got.
For my recommendation, I have not been watching a lot of movies this year, and I have not been playing a lot of games this year, which is extremely uncharacteristic of me. So for a movie recommendation, I'm going back in time a little bit because, unfortunately, we lost one of the greats this week. We lost our wonderful, wonderful Sam Neill.
God, that hurt. Yeah.
Sam Neill, who you may know in Jurassic Park, was also in other movies. And a lot of those other movies are very good. One of them is the John Carpenter film In the Mouth of Madness, which is a movie where he plays an insurance investigator visiting a small town to find a novelist, a very popular novelist that disappeared, like a Stephen King type novelist. A Stephen King type novelist, and then some sci-fi type shenanigans ensue. Sounds like Alan Wake. Reader, listener, whatever you are, it is like Alan Wake. And you enjoy Alan Wake, or at least the idea of Alan Wake, or love Alan Wake 2, you should definitely watch this movie. It is very good. It is one of John Carpenter's best, and that is not a small thing to say about John Carpenter.
Damn, that's some high praise.
Yeah, like I obviously, like, you know, The Thing is always going to be number one for me, right? But like In the Mouth of Madness, I would definitely
even
put
more than original
in the
Halloween.
top 3 conversation. You know, I consider Halloween like so canonical. Like, for us, sometimes forget it's Carpenter, not because like he isn't in that movie, but it's like it's almost like
it doesn't feel as much like a John Carpenter film. TM.
Yeah, it's like how something like, to me, like Indiana Jones, like not Indiana Jones, you know, Raiders is just like a movie that was willed into existence, and we get to watch it. It's like, and the names are Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Okay.
And that's how Halloween kind of feels sometimes. And yeah, in terms of video games, I'm not recommending Alan Wake today. I'm playing Alan Wake 2 right now and loving it, though.
It's so good.
I'm also playing Hitman World of Assassination. It is 3 games in one, and they put a 4th game in there that is a roguelite of like all the maps in the game that add new contracts and things that you can do in those maps, and like the weapons you find in the level you take home with you, and if you die in the level, you lose those weapons and you have to do a new run all over again.
Oh, wow.
There's like it's just a really good dynamic structure. You can fail one of the it's like a series of like 4 or 5 missions you can go on, and if you can fail 1 or 2 of them, we can definitely fail one of them, but you can't fail too many of them, or you have to start all over and get a new contract. It is a forever game in there. And you want to talk about a game being worth it. That is a game that isn't on sale a lot, but doesn't have to be on sale, because if you get it, you're not going to need to play too much. It's going to take up a lot of my time this year.
So the Hitman games are like kind of sandboxy. I didn't know this about them. I thought they were more like, you know, stage by stage kind of thing. I've never played Hitman.
They're level based, but like every level is very open ended, and you can carry out the assassinations in whatever way you choose to like.
Oh,
you do lose like points for every non-target you kill, but that is really the only consequence of it. Is like, you know, the game's like, you fail. The only fail state is dying yourself, and even then you could reload a save state.
Cool.
It's very much, what are you doing here? Because you can do a lot with what's around.
When we talk about like replay value in games, it is like the ultimate, like, okay, play through the level just to learn the level, and then now do all the wacky challenges. You can solve like all the different bizarre ways to kill someone. You can like do it, you know, with none of the wacky ways, just finding like no costumes, just shooting a guy in the head as fast as possible. Like, there's so many different ways to play this game. It is very much like a sandbox.
Reminds me of
it is very possible.
Reminds me of Phantom Pain, where like you
it's very Phantom Pain.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
No, it's a very, very, like, especially because it's the Hitman 2016, Hitman 2019, and Hitman 2022 games in there, 1, 2, and 3. And this later ones are definitely like learning a lot from Phantom Pain's like structure in pacing these levels and giving you a lot of open-endedness to do it. And the way that it does like visual storytelling around like, oh, like you disguise yourself as like a worker, nobody's really paying attention to you, and you can sort of, but like if you are, but like some people are like suspicious of you because like there's managers and stuff that are around. It's like, you're not one of my workers, or like if you, but like rich people aren't going to know the difference, right? But if you disguise yourself as like a highly specific person, you can be deemed suspicious by a lot of people because like, you don't look like that guy. What the hell? It just does a lot.
Yeah,
it's the way you can just disguise yourself in different things. It's very emergent storytelling in and of
and like
itself.
what a minor gameplay thing that can be said by like a rich person will not be bothered to care if you're dressed up as like a service worker, but the second you show up in the back of the kitchen, everyone is like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah,
that's cool.
You can't be in here. You can't be in here.
Oh, that would have been a cool game to play for the role-playing episode, Kyle.
Yeah, you do role-play in that game quite a bit.
It's interesting, yeah.
Both like inside the game and out, yeah.
I did not care about Hitman until today.
No, you would. It's great. It's great. If you want to, like, hell, one of the best levels in that game is a racetrack in Florida, and if you want to You know, fuck up some Floridians on the cheap, let me tell you.
Oh, whoa. Hey, man, I married a Floridian.
Great level.
Do that.
I Married a Floridian is my favorite Mike Myers film.
All right. Well, this has been Brain Lords, the podcast that's worth it after about 30 or 40 hours. You can find us on social media at BrainLordsPod. And if you've made it this far, please help us grow. 5-star ratings, word of mouth. Tell someone it's worth it.
We're the Final Fantasy 13 of podcasts.
You can find me on social media as Cute Monster Props or my website, cutemonsterprops.com. Jorge, where can they find you?
You can find me at J-Man Velas on social media. Art of JMV is my portfolio. And under collections in Fangamer, there's a tab in the shopping section that I can't remember right now because it's almost 1 a.m. But if you look under collections, there's an artist tab. I will be there, JMV. You'll see all the stuff I worked on. I should have plugged Kyle, the Gravity Circuit 2 key art got revealed. I worked on that. I should have plugged that in the beginning. Yeah.
We'll save it. You can plug it next time.
Yeah, I'll save it for another episode. Keifer, where can we find you?
Keifer, where can we find you?
You can find me at my house, but don't come over. Instead, you can see me online. I am on. You may know me from posts I've made on the internet at Danny Vegito on various social media sites. But I also do a podcast called Select and Start, which is a podcast about meaningful and memorable video games that you can listen to on any of your podcast apps of choice. It's wonderful being a part of the Moonshot Network, where they let me do really whatever I want to on my podcast.
That's awesome.
And they don't get upset with me if it takes me more than my usual release schedule to release things. So thank you to the Moonshot Network. And it's really wonderful working with them. Social media at Danny Vegito. I do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Keifer's Corner. I did a video about the live action Cowboy Bebop and like why these animation to live action adaptations are so poorly made, and it's not necessarily because it's impossible, because the Speed Racer film by the Wachowskis is quite great.
Such a good movie.
And I go into that. It's just the people are cowards and are not strong enough. And what else do I do? I don't know. Listen to this podcast that you're listening to right now,
Brain Lords. I wanted to shout out. If I were to recommend a select start video or podcast episode. The Xbox, the boycott Microsoft episode was really good. I recommend that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a really carried by the guest Autumn there, who has been a huge evangelist online about reminding people that there's an ongoing Xbox boycott. Microsoft
I was shocked.
In general,
I didn't know
outside of the company. Yeah.
I didn't know Microsoft takes 30% of like sales online. That was insane to me.
Yeah. It's bleak. And hey, it's never been easier to say fuck Xbox. So
now,
especially now.
They just increased
easiest boycott of all time.
I know, seriously. So I was telling this to Kyle. I feel bad about the layoffs, but like, I'm sorry, this butt is going somewhere. I'm not going to justify it. Double Fine going independent again is the best news I've had in a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
it sucks. I don't envy the situation they're in, but my God.
No, absolutely not. But I am so glad they're no longer on the yoke of Microsoft. I'm like, so please, thank you. Like, if there's a silver lining in this fucking mess that's happening right now, like, it is that for me.
Yeah.
Because they deserve better. They deserve better than Microsoft.
Yeah. I had no interest in playing Kiln or Keeper. Not while they were under that thumb. So,
dude, yeah, that was it. It sucks because you have to. And what I liked about this episode, Keifer, is that both of you, your guest was Autumn. What were they called? Autumn. Both of you were going into like at some point you have to take a stand. You have to give up the treats. Like, this is the only way this can happen. And I really appreciated that conviction that you two had.
Yeah,
it was refreshing to have someone.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was refreshing to have someone be like, no, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, but that doesn't mean you can't like be responsible. That doesn't mean you can't like stand up for your morals. And I really appreciate it. That made me feel good about having you on the show, and I wanted to express that.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. This whole town needs an enema, and I feel like there's not really any organized, principled boycotts going on.
Absolutely,
there are people who have individual stances. but BDS is an actual principled, organized organization. So, if there's a boycott around video games there, it's definitely worth it to shout it out on my podcast and to actually live my values. So thank you for that.
Well, please, dear listener, this is my recommendation to you. If you've listened to this far, you've already basically listened to a third of a Select to Start episode, so please check them out.
Thank you. And it was really wonderful being on here. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
Well, questions, comments, and inquiries can go to brainlordspod@gmail.com, and you can find us on YouTube and all other places where podcasts are born. We have been your Brainlords for this evening, reminding you that context beats content every single time.
And if you're strong enough.
If you're strong enough. Next week on Brainlords, we present you with two paths. You can either harvest the Brainlord and gain 100 evil points and get an ending where you suck and you're all alone, or you can befriend the Brainlord and get a whole post-credit scene about how cool you are. We're done with the black and white. We want to discuss the murky gray of video game morality. Special guest Shannon Strucci helps us figure out why it feels so good to be so awful in morally gray games. Remember to listen to the episode a second time to get the true and neutral path where you piss off both sides.